Hey yo, let's go ahead and. Oh, I did not mute myself. Let's go ahead and. Oh, I did not mute myself. Let's go ahead and. Jesus Christ. I did not mute myself. Go ahead. Jesus. Yeah, I think that fixed it. All right then. Now that we've all gone through that awfulness, let's go ahead and do our dailies, and we're going to also be watching Asban Gold. He has a new video out, RAF Classic DPS min-maxing somehow just as degen as Vanilla Classic was. So we'll do our dailies and we'll watch some videos.
Okay, let's see here.
There it is.
RAF Classic DPS
Turn this down a little bit.
somehow just as degen as Vanilla Classic was. Parsing Andes. Oh, good.
So like, I don't know how strict Aspen Gold's guild was, but my guild, when I was doing progression rating, required a minimal amount of DPS, which is understandable. We don't want to like look at the DPS charts and see that somebody's at half the amount that everybody else is. So I'm curious to see what these things are.
Just what my favorite thing. Let's take a look at it. Here we go.
When it came to min-maxing, Vanilla was truly an elite of its own. World buffs that could increase
I actually never played Vanilla.
Easily by over 30%. Random level 30 or 30-something items which would...
I started at the end of the second game, Burning Crusade, and basically at the start of Wrath. So my entire World of Warcraft experience was pretty much Wrath.
Abyss forever and stacking so many consumables you could hit the buff cap. And I thought after all that, the following expansions would have a lot less opportunity for...
I think the main reason why the vanilla min-maxing was so fucking ridiculous is how easy the raids were on their own.
These kind of interaction.
The only time I remember doing a vanilla raid was when we did AQ40 with like 30 something people, and we just did it super fast to get rewards and such. So I can kind of understand it, but also it felt unfair because we were all level 80 and you know these were level 60 raids. I have no idea why the video stopped moving. Hopefully it'll start up again. My internet having trouble? It shouldn't. I have very fast internet. Alright, let's try refreshing this. If anything, it's probably my RAM that's having trouble keeping these windows open.
30-something items which were Abyss forever and stacking so many consumables you could hit the buff cap. And I thought after all that, the following expansions would have a lot less opportunity for...
I think the main reason why the vanilla min-maxing was so fucking ridiculous is how easy the raids were on their own.
These kind of interactions. And whilst TBC had one or two, it wasn't anything too noticeable. Wrath, though, much to my surprise, has already had more new or unique class and spec interactions than we saw throughout the whole duration of TBC. Here I was expecting us to have the most solved version of World of Warcraft ever. What was
I like how this
so famous
god is basically called Dollar.
Players, but no, even to this day, new techniques are still being discovered. So today, I'm going to talk you through some of the ways players are still finding opportunities to min-max their characters in this old game.
Alright, let's hear
I want
it.
to start off by having a bit of fun here. So if you watch a lot of WoW stuff, you'll probably know the answer to this, but it goes
I really
to show
don't
how
watch enough
plausible
WoW stuff.
almost anything can be in this game.
Okay.
I'm going to go over two separate player
I pretty much left my WoW stuff behind.
One of them is totally real and was hotfixed out of the game some 24 hours after becoming public knowledge, and the other one is a made-up meme on Reddit. See if you get the right one. First, we have the Fire Warrior. So in Wrath, one of the changes to stats is there's no longer spell crit and melee crit. There's just a general crit stat. This means classes such as warriors, rogues, and hunters, who would usually not gain any benefit from spells critting because they didn't have any spell crit, now passively do. So how is this going to be of use to a warrior? Well, another pretty huge change, which is really easy to overlook, was made to the talent deep.
Never played a warrior, no idea what's happening.
After you crit. Now back in Classic and TBC, this bleed was based off the the amount that your critical strike dealt. In Wrath now, it's based off your average weapon damage, and more importantly, adding crits doesn't just refresh the debuff, it refreshes it and stacks. So you really want to be critting as much as you possibly can. And it was found that Deep Wounds wasn't just proccing off physical effects, but also spells. This suddenly gives warriors an incentive to equip items that have a...
Something that always annoyed me about World of Warcraft is that your weapon speed made the biggest difference. Like, a weapon that had like 3,000 DPS, but it was like 1.0 attack speed, and a weapon that had like 1,000 DPS, but it was like 10.0 attack speed. Obviously, these are exaggerated example. But even though the 10.0 attack speed weapon has 3 times less stats, less raw stats, less DPS, it would do more damage because it had 10-second attack speed, and that would do some complex math that would make your abilities deal 10 times more damage. So instead of doing 3 times more damage with the slow weapon, you do 10 times more damage with the instead of doing 3 times more damage with the fast weapon, you do 10 times more damage with the slow weapon. And it's just somehow that made sense to World of Warcraft. I don't know why. It just did.
A chance to inflict spell crits to keep the deep wounds stacking up. Here is where the Fire Warrior is born. Your best enchant went from berserking to now being fiery weapon instead, like you were some level 19 in a battleground.
Well, there was also the it's the
gloves.
gloves.
53
There you
pair
go.
of gloves were dug up called Fiery Plates Gauntlet, which added +4 fire damage to your weapon, which is just another chance to proc deep wounds.
Exactly.
More of these gauntlets were probably made in a few days than ever have been in Classic before. So that was option 1. Does that sound like I've just made that up, or was it real?
That
Well,
happened.
here's the second discovery that was made. It's called clam weaving, and if you played...
No, that sounds dumb.
Both of them are real. Okay, very
Was
clever.
it?
Right, you had to be doing it. Discovered during the Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch, this new technique boosted DK DPS so far above everyone else.
I mean, I played DK, but I've never heard about
What was
this.
the deal here? Well, it turned out using a rather strange interaction between opening a container and a bug talent let you bypass the ability global cooldown, meaning every other attack
I'm surprised.
at the same time.
Wow.
All you had to do is
That definitely sounds like a glitch or an exploit, because something that bypasses global cooldown is huge in
presence. After doing this, you needed an item which was considered a container.
Why am I using
and
headphones?
easiest at the time and most readily available to farm.
My microphone is right in front of me. There's no reason for me to be using
Value,
headphones.
and you could go grind
I
low
just,
level
like,
murlocs
realized
fast
this.
as well, making this a really good choice. And it was that simple.
Man, people are pretty stupid with this game, man. They are pretty fucking stupid with this game. Yeah, it's like, and this is all, by the way, keep in mind, this is all to clear Nax Ramus. Okay?
With the bug talent activated, after using an ability, you open a clam and your GCD would reset.
So we will need to
Fire
farm
off a second ability.
headphones to
It
let
goes
you
without
hear
saying
the
that this
video
is a
yourself and get rid of the video's echo. How bad is it echoing? Because I want to make sure you guys hear it. You know what? I think what I could do is switch this to my headphones and then let it absorb it from... Let me know if you can still hear the video.
Significant DPS increase and led to DKs being even more degenerate than they already are. Okay, those are the two techniques.
If you can still hear the video, it's perfect. Then I'll do it like this.
As much as I love the name, I hate to say it, but clam weaving was never real. It was some prime bait which got the classic min-maxers testing this theory for hours after it was released. Though it has led to the word weaving being used in...
Really? I never looked into it. I just thought it was real. Did I get baited by fake news?
So are you still able to hear the video?
Yeah, I just assumed that shit was real. Cause like I thought that shit was real because everybody was talking about it for like a week. I was like, this sounds stupid. Holy fuck. Whoever made this is a genius then.
Pretty much every scenario that involves min-maxing nowadays. The Fire Warrior, though, was completely real. Warriors were actually using fiery weapon and equipping some sketchy-looking classic gloves to boost their
Fair. I could turn up the
didn't like that one bit, nerfing the interaction.
The audio of the video a little bit.
Within 20.
I intentionally had turned it down, but I can turn it back up
It just
now.
goes to show.
Which is a good thing. Nerfing something stupid like that is absolutely positive.
I'll
It's an old
fine-tune it
game,
later.
but new things are always being uncovered. Now, a classic min-maxing vid I did not so long ago had a pretty lengthy bit on feral druids and all the weird interactions they had in Classic and TBC.
We'll watch
And
that
I
one
thought with the
eventually.
wrath changes, that would be it for ferals doing strange stuff, and I thought wrong. As it turns out, feral...
Well, I mean, anybody that plays a feral druid does strange stuff. Let's be honest.
I mean, I played a feral
enjoyers have
druid.
found arguably even more ways to min-max
even
this
hate.
particular class and spec in Wrath than ever before. We need to start with bear weaving. Yes, be prepared to see the word weaving a lot. After clan weaving, it was just too
Blasphemy,
memeable.
right?
Bear weaving
So,
is
bear
just
weaving,
stat
what is it?
swapping.
What's
You
the
just switch
benefit?
to bear,
Well,
use a
one of
few
the
attacks,
changes
and you
made to
switch
druids
back
from
to
TBC
cats.
to Wrath was on
This wasn't like
energy.
an
Now it
advanced
goes up
tactic, this is just
gradually instead of
basic.
by
Yeah.
20 every 2 seconds. The Fiora talent was
Basic,
also
Feral
changed so you
gameplay.
retain energy upon entering cat instead of gaining it. In other words, your energy bar is always going up whether or not you are in cat form, and you can shift into cat and use it whenever you want. The idea behind bear weaving is that you either A, have spent all your energy in cat, or B, have a period of downtime in your rotation where you are just auto attacking. During this time you can shift into bear, start stacking lacerate, mauling, and just generally pressing some buttons. Then you can go back into cat when you need to refresh buffs or debuffs and repeat. And yes,
Exactly, it's
it
not-
is
it's not
actually a
really-
decent DPS gain. Looking at some of the top feral druid logs, efficient bear
not really
weaving
like an
during a full
advanced tactic,
tier
it's
7
just
clear
normal
added up to
rotation
some
for
10%
feral
of the
druids.
total.
Jesus fucking Christ. Like, Jesus, like, it's just nuts, man. I do this shit for 100 more DPS. That's crazy. Wow.
Damage. If you could gain 10% more damage on your main, you probably would too, right? Now if you're already
No, not if I had to press extra buttons. Yeah, if I didn't have to press extra buttons, I'd just be hitting the normal button. It'd be fine.
bear weaving, of course you also should be snake weaving. Goes without saying
What?
really, may as well go all the way with min-maxing. It turns out when you summon a companion pet, it resets your swing timer. So when you enter bear form and your swing timer changes, you can force reset it for an instant attack, allowing you to maul earlier. Small
Okay, that seems
optimization,
like
but
it's a
a
bit
relevant
much.
one. Apparently this also works through weapon swapping to a fast dagger, or even drinking a noggin fogger elixir, but snake weaving sounds more memeable, so I guess that's why we've gone with that.
That's
And
a
if
bit
we're
much. I would not do all that.
Well, if people want to do this, they should be able to do this. If it matters to you that much to do a little bit more damage
Like swapping between.
by pulling out the snake every once in a while,
Jesus Christ.
let them fucking do it.
Oh my gosh.
weaving and snake
can't
weaving,
believe
we
you
should
said
of
that.
course be idol weaving as well. Did you know that you can swap idols during combat? Well,
Yeah,
now
they're in
you
the
do,
weapon
and optimally
slots.
you want this idol for when you apply a new rip, and then swapping back to this one for shredding and combo point
Holy
generation. But
fuck.
all of that is for single target encounters. We
Wow.
need to make the most of things on AoE too. Is there anything that we can do here? Yes, there is, and it is called flower shifting. So another
Oh,
change
is that
made
where
to
you swap
talents
that
during
thing that
Wrath
gives you,
was
like, a
to
free
Omen
attack?
of Clarity, becoming a passive effect that has a chance to make your next spell free. On top
Yeah,
of this,
yeah.
feral cats now gain a swiper level 75, allowing them to be relevant on AoE. And
Wow.
though swipe is spammable, it costs a lot of energy, which is a bit of a problem. But it
Yeah.
turns out that AoE spells still have a chance to proc Omen of Clarity, albeit at a reduced rate. So after you spend all your
Like,
energy
this
on
one
swipe, you want
I
to go
heard
out
about
of
it,
cat
but
form
it's
and start
kind of like a
spamming
pain
Gift
to
of
do,
the
so I
Wild
didn't
to
do
force
this
proc Omen of Clarity, and then go back into cat and get that free swipe off. And it's just really that easy. Feral Druids are just doing Feral Druid stuff for the third expansion in a row. Okay, we need to move on from
Holy fuck, man.
Yeah,
Like, back
feral
whenever
druid
I
stuff.
used to parse, back in the good days, you know how you got a good parse? You told the group, hey, don't AoE them ads. I want to get a lot of big numbers on this one.
So yes, about the AoE, but like the honest way to get the biggest parse is to like watch for the group buffs. So if your what's it called, raid caller says, all right, we're gonna burn it down. You save your big attacks, your big buffs, your big everything for when everybody else is using their big buffs. And then your big buffs plus their big buffs will multiply against each other, and you'll have the highest parse, or at least in the top 5. You couldn't really match like a rogue using, what was it called, Fan of Knives or something. I don't know why, but you could match just about anybody else, so it's whatever.
Or like maybe a few people die at the end and you're playing a warrior, so you get a longer execute phase, or you know, you just get a lucky pull, or you pull the boss early, or you attack when you're not supposed to. Oh my god, Taunt General. Yeah, you.
There's no such thing as attack when you're not supposed to. You're always supposed to attack. DPS is king, baby. Nobody wants to stay killing a boss forever, and this is from someone who got progression, who was doing progression rating, second on his server. The people who were first completed same day, but they rated earlier than our guild rated, so we ended up getting second. It's I'll brag about it, even if it's a little less impressive than server first.
You attack General Nazgrim in the shield phase, defensive stance phase. Yeah. Holy fuck, man.
Druids though, I've got a few more points to cover. Let's start with Helm Slurping. Yes, this fantastic name is what the community decided to agree on for this. Bit of an update, it got nerfed within 24 hours of becoming widespread knowledge. In fact, I was so sure it was going to get nerfed after I first saw it, I went and got footage of it as soon as possible so I can show you in real time exactly how it worked. But just for the fun of what was possible, let's go over exactly how the interaction happened. So, beaming Earthsiege Diamond is a metagem that gives you plus 2% bonus mana.
Okay.
Not a huge deal, just seems okay.
Sure.
But it wasn't just giving 2% bonus mana. Each time you equipped a new helm with this metagem on, or just activated it, it instantly restored 2% of your maximum mana, and it was spammable. You can get 2 helms with this in and spam a macro to swap between the 2 helms and never have to stop and drink in raids between trash packs ever again. It's actually very powerful on speedruns.
That's really good. Yeah, that's actually really, really good. Wow.
You can go from 0 to 100% mana whilst moving in a little over 10 seconds. Just remember to swap back to your actual helm with a proper metagem before boss fights. Because of course you can't swap helms in combat, but you can swap weapons, and weapons have gem sockets, which gives us 2 options to optimize our helm slurping. Number 1 is replacing the metagem in your helm during combat, which is something you can do, bizarrely enough. Doing this is literally infinite mana, but you're going to also need infinite gold to go with it, because each metagem you put in is going to destroy the old one. The other way, depending on your class of course, is to swap in a weapon or a wand that has a gem in that will activate the meta gem. So as you can see here on Beaming Earthsiege Diamond, it needs 2 reds and 1 orange to work. So if you have 2 reds normally and 0 oranges, and then find a wand or a weapon with a gem socket and swap between that weapon and a different one, it will activate the meta gem every single time you do. On Priest, for example, this meant they had a pretty straightforward way to ensure that they literally never go boom. Of course.
That's a little ridiculous.
Oh, fuck.
I think that's a little unacceptable.
Oh my god. This is just like, this is straight up 200 IQ. Yes.
Leave it all to me.
This is what people do that have played the same game for 15 years.
Oh yeah.
People get crazy with it. Yes, they do. This is getting to the point where we were talking about like fucking like how people were trying to save time on Super Mario Brothers speedruns to go under the 5-minute benchmark. Like like we're getting to that point of ridiculousness.
Of course, this is a lot cheaper than swapping your metagem repeatedly.
If you're going to bring up Super Mario Brothers, oh, maybe not Super Mario Brothers, but Mario 64, like, there's a dude who invented multiverse traveling or multi-dimensional traveling in Mario 64. Yes, you're hearing the words I'm saying correctly. Multi-dimensional traveling in Mario 64. You know, the silly little game where you go, ha, 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 and you do a triple jump. Yeah, this guy invented multi-dimensional traveling just so that he can do a speed run within like 2 minutes. It's like, Mario games are ridiculous.
During combat, but not every single class can do this. But as mentioned, as you can probably see why now, it was nerfed pretty fast. Now to end off, I've got a few random class optimizations which don't really fit too cleanly into one single category. Rogues are the best AoE class in the game, it turns out, and the more trash that is pulled, the harder they scale. I've seen rogues with certain combinations of weapons peak just over 40,000 DPS when pulling most of the trash together at the start of the Spider Wing. How are they doing it then? Well, Rogue's new spell, Fan of Knives, gains a bonus when using daggers compared to regular weapons. This was done so Fan is about equal between assassination and combat builds. Also, instant poison has changed to be a proc per minute effect, which means it's going to scale less or more depending on how fast your weapon is. So a fast weapon will have a lower chance to proc and a slower one will have a higher chance. Titan Steel Spellblade is in a strange spot of being a 2.5 weapon speed dagger. This speed is unique and gives it much better odds at proc per minute effects. So a rogue spamming Fan with this on is A, gaining the bonus damage from using Fan with a dagger on top of the higher chance to proc instant poisons when they do, which in of itself is a pretty good interaction, but we can take this a lot further. Rod of the Sun King that drops from Kael'thas in Tempest Keep gives melee attacks a chance to restore 5 energy. Fan of Knives is of course a melee attack. I couldn't find any accurate data on the proc chance unfortunately, but hit enough mobs and you're going to be getting back a lot of energy. The alternative and the better option is Fell Striker from Rend Blackhand in Upper Blackrock Spire. This is the big item that you want to go and...
All attacks are guaranteed
AKA
to land and will be
Foxslayer
critical
has this
strikes. How long does that last,
we
though?
have these dipshits in our own guild. Yeah, this is still, yeah, as far as I know, this is still in the game. The big item, yes, this is min-max, absolutely.
Oh, here we go.
Farm. It will near insta-proc on a large pack, and it will guarantee that all your attacks crit. Rogues also in the assassination tree have a talent called Focused Attacks that refunds energy when they crit. So rogues are able to crit every single attack and keep full energy, meaning they can spam Fan of Knives non-stop. No class in the game comes even close to what a Fell Striker rogue can do on AoE. So yeah, if you're a rogue main, go farm your spell damage dagger and your level 60 dagger.
I never understood why.
In fact, it's not just rogues using Titan Steel Spellblade either. Enhancement Shamans are playing a Spellhands build that leans way more into dealing fire damage instead of using Wind Fury. Now, there is a better main hand option in Max Rammus, but a slower weapon is desirable, as Flame Tongue's weapon damage scales with your weapon's speed. This variation doesn't really change up anything too dramatically, it's just that, at least for the time being,
no, he's not massively overgeared, he's technically undergeared. Because while we're all using level 80 gear, this like Ultra Chat over here is using level 60 gear. And dominating on us because he has low level gear. That's not a ridiculous notion at all.
Additional Wind Fury damage on the meters. And in case you're worried that these strange interactions might get nerfed, we've seen what happened with Helm Slurping and with the Fire Warrior. Blizzard knows when players are using some creative game mechanics, and they've decided to leave it in, at least for the time being.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, really. The only time it's bad is whenever one item becomes BIS for the whole expansion, and the item is from, like, Vanilla WoW or something. That's whenever it's bad.
Mention has to go to Unholy Death Knights in Wrath. It turns out that all your cooldown resetting each boss and with proper snapshotting on Gargoyle has led to some rather unbelievably good results. Snapshotting being, in short, waiting until you have as many beneficial effects active as possible before you use an ability, and then that ability will retain those effects for its full duration. As of today, the top Unholy Death Knight passes in the world on Patchwork are starting to go over the 10k mark already. And they aren't doing anything specifically to game breaking. It's just their summon Gargoyle is getting so many different haste effects.
Okay, it's not the Gargoyle thing. I thought it was the revive thing where they revive you and the zombie that you respawn as is like way stronger than a lot of people's best in slot gear.
Doing unreal amounts of damage. Here's one of the top logs in the world where an Unholy DK's Gargoyle contributed the most towards their overall damage on Patchwork, getting off 63 casts within its 30-second duration. I'm not sure there's another ability in the game with the push of one button that can contribute over 200,000 damage in one cast. Haste effects such as Bloodlust, Troll Racial Berserking, B-Potion, Meteorite Whetstone from Utgard Pinnacle, Engineering Gloves, Black Magic, and a haste proc from a meta gem during the opener are leading to some pretty unreal results. Oh, and these DKs are dual wielding and aren't even taking Scourge Strike in the talent tree either. It's completely different from what Unholy was originally. And as
wait, so I did play Warlock, but not like super seriously. So I wasn't raiding with Warlock or anything. But wouldn't like a Warlock's pet also do very similar amounts of damage? Like I said, I never played Warlock at a competitive level, but it just feels like it would be true. I don't know though.
Gear improves and fights get shorter, and Holy is going to get even better.
It'll do even more damage because the gargoyle only lasts for a minute. So the closer to a minute the fight is, the more damage they're gonna do because that's their main damage window.
So there was that warlock pet. It was like a giant sword guy, right? Like a Felguard, I think it might have been called. Like, didn't he also do busted amounts of DPS? I might be completely wrong. I never played a warlock, but it feels like I'm correct about this.
Oh my fucking god. The DK in my guild swaps from blood to unholy just before bosses to unholy frenzy himself.
Oh, not yet.
Bro, we just pull the boss. Yeah, I just pull the boss, like we get him done. Yeah, it's about, I mean, it's not that bad.
Ahead from where they are at the moment. Anyways, who would have thought Wrath would see this many new discoveries? There may still be more out there that's yet to be discovered, so watch this space because researching and putting together videos on this stuff is really fun and interesting, and you guys seem to like it too. If there's anything else big that you think I missed, do drop it down below. And as always guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one very soon.
This was a very, very good video. I did not expect it to be this good. This was such a good fucking video. This is a Willy video.
Yeah, I'm actually glad to hear min-maxing videos. I honestly... So, it's weird because I don't want the min-maxing information while I'm playing. I want to try to discover those min-maxing opportunities myself. I feel like that's a huge part of the joy in a game for me. But I do enjoy listening in, watching stuff like this where you can post hoc understand some of the stuff people are doing, like after you've already done you're finished the game and such.
Sub if you guys play WoW and like WoW content. He's a good spool parses. I don't even know, like, I feel like what are my WoW parses? Warcraft logs. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, what are my parses? Classic WoW, Asmon Fresh, Sky Fury. That's pretty good.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's all right. Terrible. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm doing pretty fine. Pretty much fine. Yeah, there we go. Have you seen, yeah, what is Top G versus Jake Paul? No, I have not seen that. Is that actually happening? I have no idea. But like, yeah, my parses are fine. Like, we usually kill the bosses and that's it.
Where'd
that
she
Lotheb? Well, what happened with Lotheb? Oh, I think I died or something. I don't know. But yeah.
There we go. Getting that mist grass. That was Asmon Gold. Let's see what else other videos he has new.
There's me right there.
The worst drama yet from Doom Eternal. Oh, okay. Give me a quick second here. Let me see if I can close some things to make my game run a little bit smoother because it's chugging. Oh, I think I can close this and it'll give me some memory back. Definitely close. Can we not close this? Basically, this entire window. I had my D&D window open. Can I close this? It's a preloaded about me page. Wait, my GPU's taking up 1 gig on the browser. Holy crap. So there should be a way for me to turn off GPU acceleration. Actually, does that matter? I have a very fast GPU. GPU acceleration. Firefox. Just a quick minute. So it's under Settings General. Let's see if we can find that real fast. Settings General. It should be somewhere around here under Performance, probably. Is there an option for dark theme? I would always take dark. Yes, please. Oh, it's so much nicer. Alright, let's see if we can find... There we go. Use recommended performance settings. No. No. Perfect. See if this gets it any better. Alright, let's, worst drama yet. So let's see what's happening here.
Anyway, let's go back over. We're gonna look at this whole thing that's happened with fucking the Doom situation.
I have no idea what this
here.
Doom situation even is.
People have brought this up to me a number of times, and this is apparently the best video about it. I'm really kind of curious to see what this is going to be.
Today, in the never-ending onslaught of drama, we have a new contender, and that is Doom. Now, Doom is a franchise pretty much everyone knows about. The original Doom, 99% of you weren't even born when that came out. Doom 2...
I was there. I remember I played it at my friend Philip's house the first time. Yep. Yeah, that's... fuck.
Which was building on the original. Doom 3, which was basically a corridor walking simulator with dark corners and enemies that would one-shot you. But
Doom
then,
3 was not
Doom
that
2016 came around,
Doom
and it changed everything. It did the complete opposite of corridor simulator Doom 3 by giving you these huge open arenas, and everything was incredibly fast-paced.
I feel like the new Doom games are fucking insane from what I've seen, but I haven't played them yet.
In that game as well,
you should play them. They were a lot
of fun.
Then,
in 2020, Doom Eternal came out, which did exactly what Doom 2016 did, but even better. That game was amazing, and I'm not talking about the enemy placement, the variety, the maps, the locations, more just because they removed the shitty starting pistol you had in Doom 2016 that even fully upgraded would kill someone in about 3 weeks as opposed to 3 months. Now, Doom 2016 and Doom 2020 were both great games and financially successful, but something was bubbling beneath the surface. A bit of drama, mostly surrounding Mick Gordon, the game's composer. Now, to say this guy is talented would be a complete understatement. This guy could play the tuba and make it sound like heavy death metal, but now Mick has came out publicly.
Well, they kind of did. I mean, the fact is, like, especially Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, like, the soundtracks for those games are fucking... Like, if you play the music from those games, everybody knows it. Like, I would say that it's...
So, I was going to, you know, sing a little bit of the music, but then I realized that this isn't Doom music, this is Halo music. I was going to go be like, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
Like, on the same level, or maybe a little bit lower, because it hasn't been around as much as, like, Halo. Like, everybody fucking knows this music.
To say that the soundtrack to the game, as amazing as it is, was a complete nightmare to make. Now, Mick did what most people do and dropped this bombshell on Twitter. I swear I've said that sentence about 5 times. This happens so frequently now, it's not even funny. The document goes on to say Mick was very mistreated and even offered a 6-figure sum of hush money to essentially take all blame and act like nothing ever happened. Now, the thing is, reading this document, it is like an hour-long read, and I'm sure you guys have more important things to do.
Let's go back to that document.
Offered a 6-figure sum of hush.
The settlement offer was a 6-figure sum in return for taking full public responsibility for the failure of the OST. I didn't realize it was a failure, especially considering the fact that they just said it was like super memorable and stuff, but okay. The details were absurd. Marty would keep the Reddit post up indefinitely. He would never retract his false accusations nor clarify his statements, and his story would be forever considered the truth. I could never discuss Doom Eternal, the OST, or the Reddit post. If ever asked, I had to say no comment. I had to pledge I would never badmouth Marty or anyone working under the ZeniMax umbrella. I could never criticize any product developed by a ZeniMax studio. If I accept the blame for the situation under contract for life, in return, I'd receive a 6-figure sum, and Marty would save face and be free to continue without any fear of interference of any kind from me. Interesting. So I couldn't see some of the words here, but I guessed at them, and it sounds like I was saying the correct words.
Money to essentially take all blame and act like nothing ever happened. Now, the thing is, reading this document, it is like an hour-long read, and I'm sure you guys have more important things to do, like say a slur in League of Legends, or watch a critical video talking about the exact same...
I guess there's more to the document, because if it was just that, I managed to read it all within about 8 seconds, so... I'm sure there's more to the document.
thing because I was late to the topic again. So what I'll do, because I'm so humble and nice, I'll try and condense it. Now this all started back in 2020 when its studio director Marty Stratton did a post on Reddit.
So this is
basically
3 years
talking
ago.
about how it wasn't really anyone's fault.
How do you know?
So
So
delayed,
this is 3 years
except
ago.
Mick Gordon. It wasn't really anyone's fault.
How do you know?
So delayed, except Mick Gordon. It wasn't really anyone's fault. How do you know? So delayed, except Mick Gordon. It wasn't really.
Alright, that was a bit of a echo loop. Sorry about that, guys. But at least it gives me an idea of how I sound compared to the other audio. I feel like the other audio is a little bit too loud, so I am going to turn that down very slightly.
This document, it is like an hour-long read, and I'm sure you guys have more important things to do, like say a slur in League of Legends, or watch a critical video talking about the exact same thing, because I was late to the topic again. So what I'll do, because I'm so humble and nice, I'll try and condense it. Now this all started back in 2020 when its studio director Marty Stratton did a post on Reddit.
So this is
basically
3 years
talking about
ago.
how it wasn't really anyone's fault
How
that
do
the
you know?
soundtrack was so delayed, except Mick Gordon. Now the length of this post is the script of like every Lord of the Rings film put together, so again I've got to condense this one as well.
Crap, okay,
I feel
that
like
is
that's
massive.
not so bad. Like, I've written things on Reddit that are about that long before. That's really not that bad. Come on.
Basically, reading through the post, you'll notice that Marty paints Mick Gordon, the game's composer, as nothing more than a little bitch boy. He's someone that doesn't like working up with the higher-ups, constantly moves dates around, and when promised a dedicated deadline, misses it anyway. Even saying that the music
Damn, I didn't know I worked there.
Mick made wouldn't meet the expectations of Doom or Mick's fans, which led to id Software hiring people in-house to finish the music that Mick didn't want to. And
That
apparently
sucks.
the only thing Mick was concerned about is getting full credit and not crediting any of the other people that had to patch up his work.
So he's just a
Basically,
fucking
this post,
asshole.
comedically, it just makes Mick Gordon look like a complete asshole.
Yeah.
With Mick even hitting back on Twitter now, saying that this Reddit post pretty much professionally ruined his career. No one wants to work with him because they think he's a complete asshole. Now Mick's
The Reddit post ruined his fucking career? Oh my god. That's sad. Marty's post severely.
I don't know. I believe it. Like, Aspen Gold is, exaggerating or something at the moment. It's one of those things where it's like, a Reddit post like this shouldn't hurt your career or anything. But people are on Reddit, and if something goes viral like this, companies don't want to be associated with the guy like this. The workers, become afraid of working with people like this. So a damning article like this on Reddit can absolutely go viral, especially since the more detailed something is, the more realistic it sounds, even if it's all completely false. Like if you just say like, oh, he was abusing me, it's like whatever. But if you go into detail of every single thing that happened, then people start believing it more and more. Like the longer the story is told and the reasonably believable it is, the stronger it seems. So I fully believe that this could 100% cause massive damage to somebody's career. 100%.
Impacted my professional and personal reputation. In releasing this statement, I'm exercising my right to defend myself. It is a defense, not an unprovoked attack, issued with extreme reluctance only after all other attempts to resolve the matter have failed. Okay.
That was a little
So he
confusing.
dropped the twit longer.
Now, Mick said he didn't want to talk about this, and I know everyone says they don't want to talk about it and then talk about it anyway, but the fact that he was offered hush money and his career was essentially ruined after this, he has every right to fire back. Now, this document goes on to list so many things that it didn't provide for him. Like, for example, when you make, like, the soundtrack to a game, you'd like to know what the game's on, right? Maybe even some gameplay. Nothing. All Mick had to work with, essentially, was concept art. People were meant to capture gameplay footage for him to look at and go, okay, I know what kind of beat or tempo I'm going to make here, but they didn't even do it because half the time the build of the game was so unstable, they couldn't properly record footage for him. So this is essentially the
Well, I
equivalent.
guess that kind of makes sense why he wouldn't be right with the deadlines, And it's like, this is always what happens. It's like whenever you get one person's side of the story, this is why you don't always believe everything that somebody says unless they have like super hard fucking evidence about it, is because there's always another side to these things.
of someone asking you to do the soundtrack of Slender Man and saying, it's a tall guy in a suit and he's in the woods and it's scary. And the worst thing is with how bad crunching was, if Mick missed a single deadline, that would lead on to him missing another deadline. It was just a domino effect. Now Mick kind of realized, okay, I'm kind of screwed here, so maybe I should bring up my own plan to id to see how we can, you know, better things. He basically suggested, okay, I'm gonna make some more like generalized music, and as the game gets more form, i.e. I have, you know, gameplay to work with, then I'll be able to actually make more specific music. Because at the minute, Mick is already expected to make 2 levels worth of music every month. And what do you think Marty said to that totally reasonable proposition?
Does he have the same chair as me?
He didn't reply, but the blow-up made it abundantly clear that the schedule would not change. I was stuck with it. I was already pulling all-nighters 2 months in, and I still had 18 months to go. Let's see. Hey, Marty, thanks for the reply. I appreciate you're busy, so the email was a follow-up to a call I had with blah, blah, blah. Certain phrases and languages I've used in that email reference various points in the call, and I feel they've been misinterpreted by your response. This is from Mick to Marty. At the bottom of this email, I've attempted to clarify these points, but I also want the community to explain the situation more clearly. I couldn't start work until the paperwork was signed and we had kickoff. That immediately put me at a 2-week disadvantage as is scheduled, blah, blah, blah. That's a big deal. Shortly after that, we had a call discussing something for a chant. Part of the delivery was due April 1st due to the delayed start. He was behind even further. All right, so it's like, they already said it. It's like a compounding issue. Gets worse by the moment type deal.
I think he does. What the fuck? Okay.
He completely blanked Mick Gordon and acted like he never sent the email. So Mick, this poor guy, basically had to work with what he was given, which is text and concept art. This guy would pull all-nighters, sleeping under his desk just to get work done and meet goals.
Jesus.
And then when he presents
sounds like he works at Twitter.
Work to it,
Oh,
they
wow.
go, we're not happy with it. Are you surprised? This is the equivalent of asking Hans Zimmer to do the entire soundtrack for Interstellar, but the only thing you've got to reference it is a picture of Wall-E. Then at the E3 Bethesda showcase in 2019, Doom Eternal was announced with a collector's edition that would contain the game's soundtrack. And even though the soundtrack wasn't finished, pre-orders went on sale immediately. So people were
Well, that's not, I mean, there's no pressure there, right?
buying something like this is an early access. People were buying something that doesn't even exist. Now Mick at this point is obviously terrified. You know, he's got like the weight of the world on his shoulders, like his Atlas or something. So he messages Marty saying, how are you allowing people to pay for something that doesn't exist? And then he just goes, stop causing distractions. And then on the 7th of March,
Seriously?
Bethesda, who own id and pretty much half the video game industry at this point, sent Mick a draft of the terms of agreement. Now, I'm sure you've all heard horror stories.
Damn. Wow. That's fucking bro. They just send him a draft of the terms of agreement. They don't even want to entertain the conversation about it. Oh my god, there wasn't even a contract for Mick to do.
So basically, like, this is what your contract says. Shut up and do your contract. So it's like technically true, but it definitely sounds like the guy is massively getting screwed. Again, I haven't heard the other side of the story either, so who knows?
Do the soundtrack, but they put his name on it. Fuck, man.
About YouTubers
Stop
signing into
causing
contracts they shouldn't do.
distractions.
This beats all of that by a country mile. So apparently Mick was meant to produce 12 songs and they had final approval and the deadline was April 16th. So he had just over a month to produce 12 songs that he didn't even know was going to get approved or not. And the only reason they're being so strict with him is because, you know, there's a thing called consumers' rights and they realized, wait, if we sell the collector's edition and there's no soundtrack, that means people are entitled to their money back, as they should. So below Bethesda in the id offices, or as I like to call it, the third circle of hell, they were freaking out. And you know, instead of giving Mick some more time to maybe perfect the soundtrack or work on it more, they just hire an in-house guy called Chad Mossholder to fix up the soundtrack and
Chad Mossholder, lead audio designer.
patch up all the holes that Mick left. Now, the problem is the edits that Chad did to kind of like patch up the work, they suck. He essentially just copy-pasted pre-existing music. He didn't even crossfade any of it. I mean, you don't...
Y'all still gonna type Giga Chad now? Yeah, classic Chad. Just copy pasting everything in there. I'll take care of it, guys. Don't worry about me. Yep, it's okay.
Have to be an audio engineer. Just look at these screenshots and you can tell when the music just abruptly starts, ends, or even clips into each other. This looks like the editing timeline of when I would make an MLG video in like 2016. But then the worst thing for Mick, someone again who has been sleeping under his desk, by the way, pulling all-nighters, constantly crunching. You go onto who made the music for Doom, and it says Mick Gordon and Chad Mossholder, almost like it was a collaborative effort. Imagine.
Wow.
Oh god.
That sucks, man. Jesus, like, dude, I feel like Chad really came out ahead in this whole situation. Like, really, like, he just came in, he's not really involved with any of the drama, he, like, didn't even really know this guy, and then they just hire him to, like, fix this stuff, and he fucks it up, but, it's good enough, right? And they put his fucking name on it, and now he gets partial credit. It's insane. Yeah, that's going in the portfolio. All right.
Making the whole music, you've got this company breathing down your neck. They hire some in-house guy, and then they credit him like he's done half the work. Yeah. Keep in mind, Chad, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I know a guy called Chad as well. He's very nice. But this guy did not write, produce, or script any of this music. He essentially...
I met Anything for Views, Chad, whenever the Ice Poseidon RV arrived at DreamHack Austin. Yeah, I met him for the first time. Hey, he's playing Wrath now. He's a great guy. Oh, I like him a lot. I also met Miskiff that same day for the first time.
Actually did the equivalent of copy-pasting files 7 times and calling it a day. Actually, no, you know what? That isn't the worst bit. You know the worst bit is the fact that Mick was not even paid during any of this. For 11 months straight, he was not paid anything, because the way the contract was wrote, he would only be paid once id was happy with the final product. And because of this, like...
His software approved my OSC contribution after I did everything they asked of me. Marty was part of the panel that approved it. He then went on to make wild claims about my supposed unprofessional behavior, but I had behaved in such a way that Marty alleges its software, Bethesda and ZeniMax, would have had clear grounds to refuse payments. However, they had made no arguments against it. They paid me the total contracted amount, including the on-time bonus, because I met all my contractual terms, I guess.
Legal grey area of them not approving it or saying, you know, just had a little bit more. He was never paid. I think the longest I've ever had to wait for payment is when I do like a mobile sponsor or something and they wait until the next quarter, like 2 months to pay me. But imagine going 11 months. Now, after 11 months, Mick was finally paid. Most people would call that a human rights violation. The video game industry would call that actual practicing standards. But the amount...
he got the money, right? It's totally okay. Corporate fuckery? Yeah, sure. That's just what happens. That's a bit
music
much,
Mick
though.
provided to them was nearly 5 hours worth.
Holy shit.
I think they only agreed on 2 hours, so he basically gave them nearly double the amount of work for absolutely no extra pay. Now, like I mentioned earlier...
Wait. 5 hours worth, and he was contracted for 2 hours, and it said nearly double. That's over double. That's far over double. It's double and a half. What are you talking about, mate?
Mick was offered a 6-figure sum of hush money.
Well, it'd be no extra pay. Let's say they give him 2 times as much pay. Well, 2 times 0 is still 0.
No.
So they could give him 5 times as much pay. It wouldn't matter.
In return, he'd essentially do a Walter White, you got me, and admit all wrongdoing, everything was his fault, and the reason why there were delays and so many problems is solely because of him, and the company did absolutely nothing wrong, including that he would never be allowed to criticize the company ever again. Now, when Mick read the terms of the agreement, like most humans that choose violence, he said, no, go to hell. But the problem is the damage is done. There is a Reddit post right now circulating, basically saying how much of a terrible person he is to work with. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes him look horrible. And, like, that's really what's going to matter. And even after this comes out, people are still going to see this Reddit post.
Like, 37,000 updates at this point, and
like, he should try to petition Reddit to take down that post. Probably, like, ban that dude for misinformation.
They rejected songs and then used them anyway to avoid paying him. Who could have possibly predicted such an event? Like, I feel like people are always, like... I understand, like, yeah, this stuff is really bad, but guys, please don't be surprised whenever this kind of stuff happens. Yeah, it's just, it's shamelessness. Absolutely, it's what they do.
awards on the post than a Reddit post saying, "Today I learned showers make me smell good." I've read more into the post and the stuff he talks about, like he would be email bummed, that would crash his servers, his family would be harassed, his phone would ring around the clock with people saying they're going to kill him, kill his family. The amount of harassment he was getting was basically the calmest Modern Warfare 2 lobby. Now, there is a silver lining to this story. Mixed stories been shared a lot on Twitter. You know, one good thing Twitter can do is share any story. Thankfully,
that's one of the unfortunate things about whenever you have Reddit posts and stuff like that, is that something can go out there and it can be totally fucking wrong, but people will believe it sometimes because it agrees with their presupposition. This is what they already think. Yeah, it sucks.
This is a good one for once. The post itself has about 100,000 likes, and the original Reddit post, people want to delete it, but I think the mods are going to keep it up for archival purposes to just show how dishonest Marty was. He painted Mick as this, you know, complete asshole, when in reality, he did everything he was asked of. He just, you know, he's given these ridiculous crunch times. I'm just happy you guys have example 3.
I hope that if they keep it, I think it's probably the right idea to keep it up, all things considered. But I hope that they add an addendum to it, like in the comments or something, be like, yeah, we know that.
They should edit the front part of it. Nobody reads the comments. It should be like the very first thing, like this post is being kept up for archival purposes. Everything said in the following post is a lie. Or something along those lines. Like, putting it in the comment is way too far down. Nobody cares about the comments.
You really know how to get me going.
I'm down, girl.
Get them.
It sounds really bad, but there's a follow-up to this story. Please read it here if you want to get the full story. They have. Oh, great.
187 of how the video game industry is bad. How does Critical end these videos? Yeah, so that's it. See ya.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Absolutely fucking sucks for that guy. Like, and that's what happens, you know, you have somebody go out there, they paint a fucking picture of you, they make you look like a piece of shit, and then everybody hates you. That's the way it goes. I like Pyro's videos nowadays. This is the first video I've seen from Pyro in a very, 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 very long time. I don't even remember the last one. But it was a very well put together video. I like it a lot.
I have a friend who is actually going through something very similar.
So make sure to give him a
like. Really messed up. Like, he's really screwing with his head.
I haven't seen one of these in a long time.
And,
but
you know,
this was
he's
great.
getting depressed because he can't. Like, he's not on a grand scale as this guy. Like, this, we're talking about people who are, you know, massive influencers. So he's like a very local person, and he's going through something very similar. And, you know, when you're that local, you don't really have a platform. You don't even want to be on the platform. Like, you don't want people checking out your dirty laundry, right? But it's definitely messing with his head, and I wish there was more, you know, you could do to help him out. I will say, of course, the title of this video is crazy clickbait. Worst drama yet. Like, this is terrible drama, but, I mean, it's very clickbaity. Come on.
And internet's fine whenever it goes mainstream. Normies don't understand nuance or memes. You get posts like that. Well, the thing is, like, it's not about normies not understanding posts or memes. It's like, this is something that is, it gets released and it ruins a person's life.
Yep.
Like, at that point, it's no longer the internet. I think that you cannot make the argument that, oh, it's just the internet, it doesn't matter, whenever people conduct business and become billionaires on the internet. The internet is not the same as it was in 2006. Things have changed. And if you want to acknowledge, if you don't want to acknowledge that and you want to pretend like it's not true, that's fine. But just remember that you're living in a fantasy land, okay? That's all I'm asking. Soundtrack made you great students have seen. I wouldn't be the same without it. Oh yeah, it was fucking great, man. Someone else done as good of a job, maybe not. Sounds like two guys with a personal problem they couldn't resolve, except one holds all the cards. Well, it's one guy went out and he made it public. I think that's what the big difference is more than anything else. That's awful. Yeah, whenever that happens, it just ruins the guy's life. Holy fuck. Yeah, normie spoken like a true Redditor. I mean, listen, like, I feel like anybody who still uses normies unironically, especially whenever you're on Twitch. I mean, come on. Come on, man. Yeah, people took a Reddit post and used it as an excuse to treat someone like shit. Well, the reason why is because every single time that people read something, they assume that it's true. They read something and it says, this guy's a piece of shit. And they're like, I can't believe it. He's a piece of shit. That's horrible. FTX bankrupted? Who could have possibly guessed? Wow, a company that's built on thin air bankrupted.
It kind of reminds me of, is this still going? Oh crap, it is. Alright. Oh god, I hit the wrong button. God damn it. But yeah, it's not just that, even if it could be really BSy, a lot of people just want the opportunity to spit out vitriol, to put people down without needing to. So very recently, I like to troll people a little bit. I like to troll things. There was a anti-flat earth video. So this is a video debunking flat earthers. The video goes into details, but the guy in the video makes a small science mistake. I point out the scientific mistake. It's very small. It's one of those things where it's like, he's technically correcting 90% of cases, but if you do this one case and it technically still qualifies under his the way he said it, then it's incorrect. So I pointed it out, and I jokingly said, well, in this case, your proof doesn't work, meaning your entire video is incorrect. So people, it's supposed to be super tongue-in-cheek. I saw a few replies of people just saying lol, whatever. But then there were people who became completely vitriolic. They did not understand what I was talking about, and they instantly were like, oh, you flat earther scum, you should do terrible things to yourself. You should not continue in this world because you're a flat earther and such. And it's like, bro, first of all, you're wrong. Not only am I not a flat earther, but I am following proper science. And two, even if I was a flat earther, even if I was, which I'm not, you shouldn't be throwing out vitriol like that. You shouldn't be that aggressive against people. There's no excuse for it. Someone having disagreements with stuff like that shouldn't be reason for you to attack them on a personal level. And especially not that viciously. Like, if you wanted to attack me on a personal level, it's like, you just said, God, you're an idiot flat earther. It's like, whatever, you called me stupid, whatever. I don't care that much. But it's always about going the next level, and people so very quickly go to the next level. Speaking of how, like, things would be better without my existence, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say the crueler words that they use because I don't wanna get in trouble with the censorships, let's just say. Like, there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it. Simple as that. There is zero excuse for anybody saying anything like that. And I feel like that's what happened here a little bit. People very, very instantly not only went against him, but also started spewing vitriol. Also, I'm agreeing with Asmongold here. Like, the internet is super interconnected. Companies monitor people, employees, Facebook. They monitor their Reddits. They monitor their Twitches. No, I mean maybe the Twitches as well, but I meant to say Twitters. So everything is interconnected now. If you're a terrible person online, more than likely the companies will not want you. The world is interconnected for all the good and all the bad that brings. Alright. let's continue to play here.
Wow, what a surprise.
We're gonna need to figure out a new video to watch. Let me finish off this girl first, and then we'll pick something else. Oh, no, 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 no! Ah, she got it.
Leave it all to me.
Asmongold documentary.
Wow,
Let's see if I can find
400
this here.
damage is all I
The story
needed.
of Asmongold, the one true king. All right.
We're
here we
now
go,
watching
boys.
the story of
It's
Asmongold.
midday. There's some empty
Wow, his hair
tables.
looks really nice in this video. I'm just gonna be straight up. Like, his hair looks great in this video. He actually looks a little bit happier. Like, in most of his videos, he looks a little tired. In this video, he looks young, fresh. All right, let's find something to watch.
There's me right there, and then there's Jeff behind me, and then there's a roach in my bathtub. Bro,
Oh,
dude,
gross.
Wrath of the Lich King was lit.
I kind of hate this video. I wish this video was gone. I was done with gaming until I found Final Fantasy 15, whatever. Reacts to an OST, no thank you. How Pint became the best Final Fantasy 14 player. The last video I saw of Pint, if I remember correctly, it was about him like psychopathically stalking his ex-guild and like actively harassing them. So if this is the same Pint that I'm remembering, I'm not really interested. Messed up this is saying them things could push someone who is already in a bad headspace over the edge to do what they said to do. Exactly. That's exactly my point. People should never ever say stuff like that. It's awful. I look, call someone stupid. I don't care. Call someone other things. Generally, you know, lightweight things, lightweight punches, whatever. Talk smack about people. What is it? There was a video about Adam Sessler going to town on people, apparently having like a berserk moment. Let's watch that one because I thought it was hilarious. Oh, is that it? Here we go. Adam's G4 host has a meltdown.
Two-time former
So-
X-Play
This is Asmongold watching somebody else who is watching somebody else. So this is now we're at like 5 layers deep.
host
But-
Adam Sessler.
I've seen this video already before, and it's basically Adam Sessler goes on a quote-unquote meltdown, but it's him just like straight up Xbox Live, classic Xbox, not the Xbox One Xbox, classic Xbox Live style, going to town on a stupid little flame war on Twitter, and the guy Asmongold is watching is presenting it as like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing in the world, like clearly exaggerating. I'm personally enjoying every moment of it because it gives me memories of the stupid ways people used to troll people back then.
Has lost his mind. Again. I know, shocking. Hey everybody, even though I'm going back to my house,
So I'm going to skip forward a little bit because I remember this video talking about how his house is just broken or something, so I'm going to skip a few minutes.
was somewhat popular for a while, but times changed, it fizzled out, everyone moved over to
They got
user-generated
rid of the girls.
So I remember enjoying G4, but I remember even back then, G4 wasn't a great show, but it was an enjoyable show. Maybe it's because there wasn't selection, but the fact that the hosts really didn't care, like they were constantly apathetic, they were constantly going, ah, this game sucks. You know it sucks. I know it sucks. Ah, and something like that really resonated with me.
In the bikinis. I mean, that was a fucking that was fucking mistake number one.
I must leave no stone.
I could've told
content
you that.
because there's a billion different fantastic reviewers on YouTube that did the job better than G4 TV can do. It's just a relic of a different age. But
Sure.
none-
If they brought on girls with bikinis, with big ass titties, talking about video games, it would have been popular. Like, listen, how many of these
Sure,
fucking
sex sells,
bot
whatever.
OnlyFans girls type gaming anime Valorant with some fucking picture to like a 5% off, which is like nothing, by the way, sale for their OnlyFans, and they get 3,000 likes by a bunch of simps with fucking anime profiles, anime profile pictures. Yeah, they fucking constantly do this shit. So it's, no, this is not, by the way, this is not a tapped out market. This is a market with no market cap.
I mean, if he's
Nonetheless,
talking about
they thought
sex,
the
yes, sex
nostalgia
has no
would
market
make
cap.
G4
People-
TV popular if they
The human
rebooted
race
it,
will always want
and
that.
it didn't work.
Not even
And no,
people,
it
the
was not
human
just
race.
because of the Frost Grant.
All
The Frost
genders.
Grant would have been like a fart in the wind if they actually had quality content. Their content was mediocre at best. It was just competent. It was edited fine, but there was no...
I think Austin and Will's stuff was great. I feel bad for them losing their jobs. I think they were great.
nothing that made it stand out from every other reviewer on YouTube. So,
I mean, I don't feel like my
it failed,
content really
and
stands out either,
Comcast pulled the
so
plug.
I don't blame them, but then again, this is a
rebooted
multi-million-dollar
G4 TV
company, and I'm
is now
an
officially
idiot who barely
dead.
knows what.
Well,
how
Adam
to do anything,
Sessler,
so
who is known
We're
for
not exactly
saying
equals.
some very colorful things.
And this guy, Adam Sessler, by the way, everybody's like, wow, this guy's such an asshole. He was an asshole back then, too. He's always an asshole. That's why people watch this show, is because he was an asshole. So I don't know why everybody gets their fucking, gets their panties in a bunch about this fucking shit. They're getting so mad about Adam's. Oh, he's making me so mad. He's being mean. This is the whole reason he was popular.
The fact
in the
that they are
first
getting
place,
mad is
he
what
would
makes
always
this
make
good.
people mad.
Like, if people piss him off, he feels that it's justified to dox them. I'm not
Alright,
kidding.
doxing is always bad.
That's over the line. Everybody knows that's over the line.
Said
Yep,
that
doxing is
sitting
always bad.
next to Jim Stephanie Sterling back in the day. Went insane again on Twitter.
Again,
it actually
went insane
started
is
off
such an
fairly normal,
exaggeration.
but then
Such an
things
exaggeration.
went downhill
Oh, good.
very quickly. We'll start off with the normal tweet, though. Here is Adam. Want to send my best wishes to some of the best and most talented people I've ever worked with. Please hit me up if there's some way I can help. You're all too awesome to not find your way.
I mean, that all sounds fine.
Big love. Perfect.
That seems pretty fine. Yep, that seems okay. All right.
Where's the trolling coming in?
Fine tweet. That's that's if it ended there, that would have been
But it's not going to end there because we're only 2 minutes into the video.
I need my trolling, man.
fantastic from Adam. But it didn't end there. It went from 0 to 1,000 in the wrong direction. Here are some of his other tweets and replies
There's no such thing as the wrong direction. There's just the direction that existed.
to people. And to those misguided who need to send vitriol, go right ahead. I'll keep taking your hits like I have for over 20 years.
So far, so good, and I agree with him.
I'll still be here just caring about the good people who got jacked. Which,
I think that's fine. That's fine. Like, sure. Yeah, this part's totally fucking fine.
you know, you're poking at the hornet's nest a little bit with that, but if it stopped there,
Because
It's a whole thing of like, I'm still standing. Bring it on. And I'm gonna keep standing.
you know, a lot of people were celebrating G4 falling apart because they didn't like Frosk, that girl who went on the rant about how gamers are sexist.
I don't know who Frost is, but if she went on such a rant, that sounds awful.
Yeah, so they're shitting on him. Of course he's gonna say this.
I would not be making I would not be making this video. I've said worse
on, bring
things
it on.
on Twitter. Like, I literally just got suspended for 12 hours on Twitter. So anyway, let's continue. Now Adam
I
Sessler.
got suspended one time because I called somebody fat on Twitter. He said he was gonna fucking beat me up, but I said your fat ass can't even get out of the house. The fuck out of here. You're gonna beat me up. You know you're not. And after that, I have like a new policy that anytime anybody fucking talks shit to me, I just block them. Because
policy.
I'm not gonna sit there and take it. I'm not gonna be like Harambe or one of these fucking gorillas in the zoo that people get to go down and throw peanuts at them and just make them mad. Because the one time that a kid gets in the encampment, in the enclosure, and Harambe's like, finally, I'm gonna let loose, he's dead. Yeah. Nobody's gonna fucking do that to me.
Goes downhill and starts quote tweeting and fighting
Harambe
with
did nothing wrong? Yeah, neither did I.
people. This is a habit of his, and it starts to not make him look good, which is me putting it nicely. Okay. Someone said to Adam Sessler, your inability to listen to any criticism, no matter how valid, for 20 years is staggering. Adam,
good for him. What the fuck do they know? They've known about him for 20 years. He's never known about this random fucking guy on the internet.
You know what? I was going to say something, but Asmongold already said it perfectly.
Why the fuck should he listen to criticism from some random idiot?
replies with this: your ability to listen to me without any regard for independent thought for 20 years is quite staggering too. Again,
all right, that's a simple one. That's not bad.
He's just being a prick. I do that. But here we go.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wait for it. He brings in the mom jokes. Yes, a soon-to-be 50-year-old man is using mom jokes.
This is totally fucking fine.
See, this is exactly what I was saying. This is straight up Xbox Live trash talking.
This is why people watch him. Is because he's a 50-year-old man probably saying, I'm gonna fuck your mom. That's the whole reason. It's like Keemstar.
So, someone wrote to him, he often gets into politics too. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into politics. Someone wrote to him, I'm sure a washed-up, middle-aged man like you will be back on his feet in no time in this roaring economy created by the Democratic Party. Excited to...
Oh, so not only is it a like a really garbage thing to say to begin with, it's like the dude instantly got political.
See your next project. Good luck, sir. And he replies back with, just ask.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Now let's dial this up to 11. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother.
They shot first. They very clearly shot first and second. So Adam Sessler is already in his full right. Not only they shot him first, they shot him second. He has full right to go ham, and I support it.
Ask your mom. I'm doing fine. I'm literally, I wish you could see me, like, in the normal studio set.
That is totally fine.
That was so minor.
I don't have anything wrong with that. Like, I still have not, Adam Sessler hasn't said anything so far that I consider anything. This is not even a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. These are all zeros.
I'm face palming right now. You're
Who cares?
49 and bringing up mom jokes.
Yep,
Stop.
that's right.
Nobody cares about you face palming. Nobody cares. People love this.
Couldn't have thought of anything more clever. It continues though.
No. Thinking of something more clever means you're putting in more effort. No, they don't deserve the effort. They're being vitriolic. They don't deserve the effort for you to come up with something super clever. Screw it. Xbox Live Classic, Gamer Classic.
Of course.
Now, of course, you're going to have the plebes and, oh, you got woke and went broke. Someone said to Adam Sessler, he replied with, do you wits have one writer who only knows one rhyme? Yes, they do. Also, like a real adult, unlike your mom, he said a mom joke again. Oh my God. The last time I think I used a mom joke seriously was like when I was...
Nobody cares about you using your mom jokes. Like everybody else is using it. Nobody cares if you want to be, oh, I'm too highbrow for mama jokes. Oh, nobody cares.
11.
The last time I did it was, I think, 3 days ago. Because somebody asked me if I have cheese on my dick, and I said, ask your mom.
Okay. He says, also like a real adult, unlike your mom, I have multiple incomes. Go. A sheep again, you desperate. Another word I can't say. Yeah. He's going insane here. It doesn't end though. Let's continue.
Bro, this is such a non-issue. I'm gonna be honest. Like, come on. Like, this guy has gone unhinged multiple times before. Please, let's see him really go. This is not insane. This is some fucking, like, he probably knows it's ridiculous even whenever he's tweeting it himself.
Another mom joke. Here, someone wrote to him, "Oh wow, so we're embracing stereotype and unironically using ha as an insult for people who disagree with us. Adam, while we're over here being quote unquote adults, maybe we could grow also a thicker skin and not lower ourselves to your mom jokes. Just a thought." And Adam,
what a bunch of pussies.
Yep.
What an absolute bunch of fucking pussies. They come at Adam Sessler and they're talking shit about him. And then they're like, oh, why are you getting mad? What the fuck? You were just talking shit. What are you doing?
They went for him first.
Adam wrote back, "Your mom's got thick skin." I can't with this. I can't with Adam. Adam, what are you doing?
He's winning.
It keeps going though. We're not done. The hits keep coming. And someone justifiably called him out for grown man resorting to your mom claps. This is how grown adults cope, I guess.
No shot. Because here's the thing. I've gone through this. Yeah, he did drive into that wall. He fucked that one up, huh? But listen, this guy, so if he comes out with some, all right, so let's go down the web of, let's pretend like we're playing one of these fucking, adventure games, and it's like choose your response. If he did a your mom response, he's gonna get people saying this. If he came up with some elaborate personal response to make the guy feel like shit, people are gonna call him an asshole. If he blocked them, they're gonna call him a pussy. If he didn't respond, then he's afraid of talking to his fans. There's literally no way that he can win in this situation. Yeah, there's no way. And then also, if he comes up with something that's really actually hurtful for the person, then the person's going to report him to Twitter and he's going to get in trouble.
Yeah, that sounds like
then Adam gets
lose.
political again. And Adam replies with, "I mean, I could consider funding a House candidate in your district that cuts off all federal funding so you have to sell your daughters off to make ends meet while I drive by laughing. I can make fun of your mom." He said a mom joke again.
All right. So I don't like the sell your daughters off part, but everything else was liquid gold. Everything else was just amazing. Oh my gosh.
Again, and said something terrible about the Twitter user's daughters. Adam, what are you doing? Like, I guess at this point he just doesn't care and he just wants everything to burn.
Okay.
And someone wrote to him, and people are going to do
All
this.
right,
They do
this is
this
hysterical. Yeah, this is great. Like, what do you think? I'm going to get mad about this? Who gives a fuck?
to me too. Someone wrote to Adam, "I wonder if Adam Sessler is proud of it."
I love how everybody says, like, oh, get woke, go broke. It's full of a bunch of pussies these days. Everybody's a snowflake. But then the moment that Adam fucking comes back and is like, yeah, I'm going to support somebody to put you out on your fucking ass, so you've got to have your daughters work for you. Oh, I can't believe this guy is beating me up. He's fucking attacking me when I'm being attacked. Oh, my God.
His role in killing G4 TV within a year of it being brought back.
Oh,
Again, I just
God.
think the mediocre content is what killed it, and no one cares about G4. But Adam wrote again, wait for it, originality here.
I honestly didn't even know G4 came back. Like, I feel like advertisement, or lack thereof advertisement, was part of the problem.
Ask your mom, she's pretty proud of something. Oh dear God. I can't help it. So he continues here. Here's another tweet from him. "So I had one hell of a therapy session." Good. You need the therapy. Adam, I'm going to therapy too, so I'm not knocking you for it. ran some math, and the novelty of when I started on ZDTV, I remember them, in 1998, with a nascent internet, and I think I might have one of the longest records for consistent online hate. Not the most, nothing to be proud of, but...
let's see.
Okay.
I feel like Adam Sessler, like, stopped being online for, like, a long period of time, though. Like, I would say, like, if you really count days spent online enduring hate, I feel like DSP, Keemstar...
Like, do people who aren't natural celebrities count as well? Because, I don't know, like, Al Gore or something, like, technically might be able to make the record. And it's, I don't know, someone like any of the science people who have the anti-science people as well. What's his name? Astrophysicist. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson is, like, probably has received a ton of hate from people who don't know science. It's not a good thing, but he probably has. Let's go back to playing that.
If Chris Chan, yeah, I mean, like, Wings of Redemption is like since 2009, 10, something like that. I don't know. No, people love Shane Doss. I feel like, dude, yeah, like Chris Chan, 100%. Like low tier god. I feel like dude, like Dark Side Phil has been around. Keemstar has been around longer than they have.
Humanity. So, Adam, if you have people like, dude, I deal with it every day too. You've been in this business longer than me. You would think you would know how to deal with it better, but apparently not.
Well, that's why they keep doing it.
I don't think Twitter is good for you, dude. I really don't. And then he goes to threats of physical violence.
Okay.
I am not kidding. What's the irony of this? Because if I said something like this, I would be probably banned from Twitter for 12 hours.
Yeah, I think that you shouldn't let people threaten violence on the internet in real life. Like, you just shouldn't let people do that. It's too risky. It's unnecessary.
So I agree that you should never threaten violence, but I want to hear what the threat was first, because so far everything that the guy that Asmongold is watching has been saying has all been exaggerated. So it's gonna be like some minor thing he said and that got blown out of proportion, I bet.
And yeah, I don't think you should let people do that.
But
there's no
this
reason
is
for
okay. This is perfectly fine. Twitter is an interesting place. Someone wrote to Adam, most grown men work out feelings on our own. Oh, God. Well, this guy's a clown, too.
Yes.
You were just one of those men that needs a little extra help. Pathetic. How's the job hunt? Oh, yeah, dude, I hate people like him. But
he's such a he's acting like a nasty little bitch. He's being a nasty little bitch. Everybody knows it. And I'm not going to cry a fucking river whenever somebody treats him like he's a nasty little bitch, because that's what he is.
Anyway, continuing on. Adam Sessler replies with this, which is equally as terrible. I have a feeling to bust your ass, but you're in Panama City, which is punishment enough. Truly the most disgusting place I've ever seen. First time I heard the word dark as a code for black people, I thought they had an electricity problem at first. Oh, dear God. Oh, what is that tweet, Adam? Violence and what else is going on there? What are you doing? What are you... Adam, I'm not that much, but younger than you. I know these are all mistakes. You've been in the entertainment business way longer than I have been. What are you doing? Stop. It's time to stop. I'm just going to keep going because the hits keep coming. Here's another tweet from Adam. Someone deleted their original tweet. You little bitch. All I got is people. I'm ready to turn the cap around my head. Let me know who you are. I actually came up when shit was hard. Plushy, like you just hide and yell. Are you saying you want to fight someone else? Oh my God.
I think that's fine. Yeah, if you want to fucking get in a fight over Twitter, be like, yeah, you want to fucking take this into
Adam
real life?
Sessler projecting
Meet
his
me in
inner
front of the
gangster.
Wendy's parking lot, you know, down on the highway, and we're gonna see who's really a loser. Yeah, let's fucking go.
Another, this one more indirect threat of violence. And then he kind of throws G4 under a bus and says this: big shout out tonight to those that run G4 for making my life more miserable than usual when I have barely been working for them in the first place. I noticed that you were home and it seemed like Adam Sessler was metaphorically and literally phoning it in to G4. Like, it was like, hey, dude, we really need you. You're like the only person we could get from the original G4 cast and Kevin Pereira. Could we just like film you from a webcam at least? And Adam said, sure. And then he
It's like, I don't
finishes his
really
tweet
care.
with,
Like, it's G4's fault that people are tweeting at him. Like, it's their fault. Like, they caused everybody to tweet at him.
this, in for a penny, in for a pounding for your bull. Adam, I
penny,
know
for a pounding.
I watched you on David Jaffe's podcast, dude. I don't dislike you. I don't. I do think you need help. I know you went through a lot of issues with your wife with health issues, and I don't wish that on anybody. I genuinely do feel bad for you, and I wish nothing but happiness and health for both
Well, he needs
you
to go
and
back
your
in the third
wife.
person.
But this behavior is not okay. And you probably, I know you're going to therapy. You talked about medications that you're on, again, on David Jaffe's podcast.
I feel like if this is getting you upset, if like Twitter, like I have no problem arguing with people on Twitter. It doesn't really get me mad. But like if you can feel your blood pressure rising based off of the conversations that you're having on Twitter, it's time for you to stop using the website.
Honestly, not just
Because
Twitter. If like a lot of things should not get people mad, just in general. And if things are getting you mad, you should just cut that thing off. Like, try to focus things in your life that make your life better. Don't keep latched on to things in your life that makes it worse. It's not a super advanced concept. I should rotate that a little bit.
It's literally killing you. They're killing you by making you so mad.
But I really think, I genuinely think, trust me, I know, the best thing for you to do is log off Twitter. I mean, right there, you could get in trouble with some of the stuff you said, dude. You did threaten physical violence against somebody. And if you're in a bad headspace, Twitter is not the place to be, Adam. It's a cesspool.
That's true. Like if you're on Twitter and you're getting mad, everybody is going to want to make you even more mad.
100%.
Like if somebody sees somebody's mad, it's the same as a streamer. It's like you see a streamer, he's like, oh my God, I can't fucking, like he's playing against a hacker. And then there's plenty of people that go into the chat, he's not hacking, he's just better than you. Skill issue, anybody? Oh, he's not very good, is he? Yeah, I guess he fell off. Oh no. And the people that are typing this know that he's a fucking hacker. They know that.
It doesn't matter if they know he's a hacker or not. The fact that it's making the dude mad is enough to fulfill the desire to type it. Nobody cares if it's a hacker. If all that matters is that it will make the person who is receiving this mad if they do type it. So like it's irrelevant.
He's playing against a hacker and they're just saying it to make him mad. People do it to me all the time. And you know what the worst part is? I know they're doing it and I still get mad.
Huh.
I know that. I know what's happening. I'm still getting mad. I get it.
Sure, what happened with G4 stressed you out too. I'm sure that people are being relentless, which is even more of a reason to stay away from Twitter, at least for now. Because these are not things that a stable man says and you need to relax
Again,
and make sure you
that
take
is so exaggerated. These aren't things a stable man says. Jeez. Like, calm down. Stop exaggerating things so much.
care of yourself first before going and fighting with people on a social media platform. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.
Yeah. Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna link the video. I'm gonna be honest. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's really not that big of a deal at all. Yeah, I don't really give a fuck about it. It's just I was expecting some kind of crazy shit to be happening or something like that. This is not a big deal at all. Like, I was expecting a real mauled out. I was expecting a meltdown. I was expecting him to throw people under the bus, etc. Oh, it was nothing, man.
Alright. I think we're done for now. Let's see what other video we can find here.
There's me right there, and then there's Jeff.
Twitter on fire after firing 3,000 employees. I have heard about this.
3,700 workers.
So the short of it is that they fired those employees without giving them enough time consideration. They didn't give them like 2 weeks or anything. They, I think some of the people that they fired were not allowed to be fired, basically like because of their contract stipulations or whatever. But I think the number one thing is that Elon Musk does things on a whim without considering the ramifications of it. These things all have laws preventing you from just acting on a whim. And this isn't the first time he's done something stupid like this. This is part of what makes him charming to some people. Don't get me wrong. I was part of the Elon Musk hype train for a while too. These days I see him as an idiot, but it is what it is. But yeah, he does things without thinking. That's the number one thing.
So I think it's safe to say that Twitter is pretty much on fire right now, and there are a lot of different articles swirling around out there. They're kind of confusing. Elon.
Well, fire's hot, and Twitter's definitely hot. They said it's the highest amount of engagement Twitter's ever had. I'm not surprised. I think everybody's just waiting to see what's going to happen.
Getting sued because he broke the WARN Act. Oh, JK, no, he's not. So I did the research, and I kind of wanted to catch everyone up on the timeline of Twitter and how it's pretty much just gone down. I guess it just depends on who you ask, but yeah, he's free to do whatever he wants. He owns the...
I love this guy, Joshua Fluke. Although, just because he owns it doesn't mean he's free to do whatever he wants. There are more stipulations.
Company. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but this is just some research to get you up to speed with how everything at Twitter has gone down so far, and it's hilarious. So on October 27th, the deal finally went through.
Right.
And as soon as Elon bought Twitter, he fired the CEO, the CFO, the general counsel, and the trust and safety person. As soon as he did that...
That's cleaning house.
I mean, if you bought the company and you think they don't fucking know what they're doing, wouldn't you do the exact same thing? I feel like with many company takeovers, the entire executive suite gets axed. Like this happened with my dad's company before. Yeah, you wipe it. Yeah, it's not even super surprising.
Yeah, you clean
You
house.
could have expected that. Yeah, it's like Game of Thrones. Yeah, exactly.
Taking out the upper managements, whatever. No, I don't really care about that.
It's Game of Thrones.
Rumors started swirling around about layoffs in the company Slack on blind.com, but he didn't lay anyone off just yet. He says everyone needs to work 12 hours, 7 days a week.
Twitter staff have been told to work 84-hour weeks, and managers slept at the office over the weekend as they scrambled to meet Elon Musk's tight deadlines, reports say. Yeah, I could have pretty much expected that.
Week to get the new feature.
This is the same shit he did with Tesla and with SpaceX. Yeah, this is how he does things.
Out. And by new feature, I'm talking about the $8 a month verification check mark.
Right.
So after Elon ordered
How many of you guys bought the check mark? Yeah, be honest. Be honest, how many of you guys did it?
I mean, there's not a ton of reason for normies to get the check mark. That's check mark is more for larger people, larger celebrities, people with a fan base, people who earn money because of their popularity. So $8 a month for people who are earning hundreds of $1,000s a month because of Twitter is nothing. This is not for like a general, like, I have 8 followers on Twitter and I like to see funny memes from The Rock. This is not for those people.
Me, not me, nope, not me. I'm about to, Lamau, I'm about to. Okay, so it's looking like maybe like 20-30% of people that are responding. So that's pretty good. Maybe if I say, maybe it's a little bit closer to 20, 15 or so. Just by like looking at this. I think that why though, and that's the thing, is that you have to have more value adds. It's like, for example, Amazon Prime. You have so many value propositions with Amazon Prime. So it's like the WoW sub. Like having classic WoW attached to the WoW sub is a value add. So it's like you don't just get regular WoW, you also get classic WoW. Well, whenever you buy Amazon Prime, you don't just get Amazon Prime, you also...
Didn't he say that backwards? You don't just get classic WoW, you also get the one that nobody plays anymore? Yeah, that's the more correct way to say that.
Get Twitch Prime, and you also get fucking the Amazon movies and shit. So the more things that you can add into it, the higher the value proposition is. And with Twitter, right now, the value proposition is a check mark. This is not a very good value proposition for a lot of people.
Everyone to start working on that blue check mark, we started to see some things about the company morale and how things were working out on the day-to-day there. So here's a picture. This picture was shared by an employee named Evan Jones, who works at the products department of Twitter.
Who took the picture?
The person in the picture is his boss, who is seen sleeping on the office floor. So this is a pretty clever plan. They tell everyone that they have to come in and work all day, every day, and if they don't like it, they can quit. I'm assuming that's what some people did. And then he avoids having to pay those people unemployment. So obviously this indicates a great work-life balance at Twitter, and things are obviously going swell. Employees were actually asked by their managers to work extra hours to meet the deadlines, and they've also been asked to justify their work, their team's work, and the value they add to the company.
I think that's very fair. Like, working 84-hour weeks, yeah, this is crazy. But, like, basically, yeah, why are you here? Please explain why you are here, what you do.
I mean, yeah. Like when you present it as you have to justify your existence, that sounds terrible, but if it's just the idea of, hi, I'm new to this company, I don't know what everybody's role in this company is, can you please inform me? That seems reasonable. I guess it's how you ask the question, not the question itself.
I think it's common sense. Yeah, of course that's what people are going to do. Many companies do this, like restructuring. Lamau, why? Because sometimes, whenever you have your vision of the company, and then this person...
Wait, do you guys remember Office Space? Isn't this the entire premise of Office Space? Those 2 guys came in and started gauging what everybody does in the company and how much they do it, and et cetera, et cetera.
Person tells you, well, I do this thing. Well, that's not part of the vision, so they're out. Yeah, Office Space. Well, I take things to the...
Oh, wow. Yeah, Office Space. There you go. He said
engineers, to the developers. Well, I'm a people person. Engineers aren't people. I have to take them. No, well, why can't they just take it directly to the engineers? Yes, exactly.
They've also been asked to justify their code, and Elon even brought Tesla engineers to review Twitter software engineers' code, which is his right. He's the owner. He could be like, what do you do for me? How do you make me money? Which is not the typical way people do things, but now this was...
I think it kind of is. I feel like especially like a reevaluation of a company in terms of like restructuring and everything, like I don't think that's super uncommon. The 84-hour work week, this is nuts, but the other 2 are not.
Before he announced any official layoffs. All this is happening, people are working 12 hours a day without any confirmed Layoffs. Has it already started? Happy layoff eve. This was before the official layoff happened.
Yeah, you find out you're fired whenever your account password has been changed.
Day before, and there was
Surprise!
no communication to anyone. People just started getting locked out. Slack was closed. They couldn't access their code anymore.
Yeah.
People just started getting locked out. Yet there's still no communication from anyone telling them what's
They
happening.
did this at my dad's company.
Give me a minute here. This seems interesting because apparently we were getting a quest line from the Fatui, and this seems really interesting. They are Daniela, Temur, Radomir, and Romansky. He's not here. He's at the medical camp. Okay, they are. Neither Romansky nor the medical camp remains at Antoha. Romansky didn't make it through the morning. Danila, how many times have I told you? I'm in charge of the company now. Call me Staff Sergeant Anton. Ha! In charge of the company as a Staff Sergeant? Who do you think you are? Ever since the captain went missing, you've been acting like an important CO. Ha! That's enough, Timber. Your growling stomach must have messed with your judgment. Calm down. Preserve your energy. It's acting CO until ha. Ooh. I like Danila. Acting CO my foot. Just for how long we have to take orders from this fake CO who doesn't even know what he's doing. Oh man, shots being fired all over the place. Hey Timur, your brain must have been intoxicated with hunger. I suggest you take a few punches to sober it up. Suits me. Go ahead, come at me. I'll help you sober up too. Great. After running out of rations, we're also saying goodbye to our sanity and patience. Splendid. I like Danila. Draining every last ounce of energy we have here. What an enlightened course of action. Danila is great. When's Danila going to become a playable character? Ahem. Silence. If you're itching for a fight, then go down and fight the monsters that came from the black mud. And don't you forget to fight them with your growling stomach too. If we want to live and walk out of here alive, we must stick together. Don't make me repeat myself. Alright, give me a, if not us, then who on 3. Tamir won't do it. So, my friend, you must have noticed we're not very combat effective at present. There's been a small issue. Since he's not here, I'm the acting commander. Now why don't you shut up that clever mouth of yours? Ready for combat. Fine. Then I can help you surrender. Oh no! I did not think that this would actually engage combat. I hope I did not ruin the quest. I was actually really enjoying the fact that we were talking to a Fatui. This is massively disappointing me. I chose wrong. It's as simple as that. God damn it. That boy's gone. Might as well get rid of this guy since his health is already low. Guess we'll get this guy next, might as well.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Terra smash.
Is he not going to fire out? There we go. No, I don't have any water characters, so I want to try to get this guy down as much as possible. Maybe if I can fly him into the water, that'd be great. There we go. Okay, we get to continue talking to them. I'm so glad. Stop. Please stop. Give us some food and we'll do anything as you wish. Whatever doubts you may have, the only purpose we have here is to investigate the source of the calamity in the chasm. Calamity that happened 500 years ago is just the beginning. The war against the dark has never stopped, and we're standing on one of the very battlefields of it. Interesting. Started talking some crazy stuff. He always likes to exaggerate, but this is the first time he's talked nonsense. Which is, does have a point, which is, you people of Leeway are no enemy to us. At least no enemy to us. As for our comrades who went missing, I'm not so sure how they might perceive you. We've got to give them some food. We'll give them some tomato eggs. Potatoes. Radishes. I feel like tofu we can easily buy, so I'll give them all tofu. Not to mention, I'm sure they're vegetarians. We don't want to... What is happening? Why are we fighting these guys over here? I really want to kill this guy before he gets his shield down. No! God damn it! Nope, don't get your shield up, don't get your shield up! Damn it! I hate this guy's shield, it's so obnoxious. You don't have a cold character, this guy just takes forever to kill.
Good night, Shun. Steady as stone.
Oh, just die. Nobody likes you.
Terra smash.
Oh, there we go. I just need to kill the boss. Okay. I believe the other truths of believing them get attacked by a different group. I got attacked by a different group regardless. I ended up fighting both groups. I 100% felt I chose wrong. There's a small issue with our chain of command. We just betrayed our men by standing here as we watched someone else chase them off. Tip that mouth of yours and focus on eating. And Tohan, stop downplaying this. Our chain of command has been wiped out. It's gone. Our captains and other high-ranking COs have either gone missing or got killed. That leaves us no other choice but to retreat. But many of our men refuse to do so. They'd rather hold on to whatever is left behind by our COs and fight till the last man standing. I'd say it's starved till the last man standing according to the collaboration agreement. People up there are supposed to relay orders and supply us with food, but we haven't heard from them for a long time. I'm okay with fighting multiple groups. I just hope it didn't like really mess up the story, and it feels like it hasn't, so I'm kind of okay with the flow that is happening. We're loyal to the Fatui and the Lord Harbingers, as we should be, but we're no fools. Anyone sensible would have long suggested that we retreat from such circumstances. I don't know that this is your concern. I won't stop you if you want to leave, but we're really out of our depth and could use your help. I'm not supposed to tell you this, but there's a supply station near the ground level. All our supplies go through there, and we sometimes got orders. We got orders there too. We sent a few men up for food, but they haven't returned. I probably killed those guys. I can't afford to risk another trip. No one has come down from the supply station for a long time either. I hope you can check the situation there for me. I'll help. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but we need to know what's happening on the ground. Otherwise, any decision we might make would be too rash. You're starting to confuse Paimon with all the convoluted talking. Cool. Hey, Danila. No, I don't want to talk to Anton. I want to talk to Danila. Fine, bye. This is a shiny mushroom. I'm noticing now the minimap in this area is darkened. Let's see. I actually don't know what I'm supposed to be doing for this quest. An adventurer's duty to explore. Complete the Xinquan commission. It just says 2 out of 2. I don't know what it actually needs me to do. Very vague. Hey, look. A super pig. Let's go fight the super pig. Super pig. Oh, super pig dashed. Oh my gosh, this is water. Can the super pig walk on water and I can't? That's awful.
I must leave no stone unturned.
And I can't switch characters because I'm on like a little hill thing. It's really nauseous. Oh, he's not that strong. Alright, goodbye, super pig. Oh, we got a water thing here. And we got a home and a fly, so we can't switch characters. Thanks, game. Oh, let's put this on play.
Or like they restructured, there was like 800 people in the company. They brought 50 people into an office room and they told them that everybody who's not in the office room is fired. And they brought in the police and like security guards to escort all 750, like I don't know about the numbers exactly, okay? But it's something like this, like all 750 other people, get them the fuck out of here. We're just gonna have these guys and that's it. So yeah, this is not an Elon Musk only thing. I'm not saying that it's good, but I do think that an evaluation of
Oh my god, I hate
what do
this
you do here,
map
I think that's
enemy
kind of fair. I do.
combo.
So you can kind of guess what's going to come next. Elon decides to fire roughly 3,700 people all at once on the spot, which
Boom.
violates the WARN Act, which is the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification, which basically says if you lay off over a certain amount of employees without any notice, you have to pay them 60 days. So you either have to give them 60 days notice or you have to...
Oh, he did pay them. My understanding is that he did pay them. Am I wrong about that? Because I remember reading that he said that he did. He's paying them 60 days.
Reading that he said
He pays them till February. Yeah. He gave them 90 days? That's a lot. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did see that. He is pledged. Yes, he's pledged to pay them for 90 days.
Pay them. And when he fired everyone, there was no communication about severance packages. People were just getting fired left and right.
Yeah.
And so that's why you saw articles
the
saying
Red
that
Wedding.
Twitter's being sued for violating the WARN Act. It's funny because they actually preemptively sued Twitter ahead of time, banking on the fact that he was going to violate the WARN Act and fire everyone.
Right.
Typically what happens with companies that
Good call.
violate the WARN Act, that don't give any notification, they end up paying the money.
Yeah,
However,
that's what they
if
did.
you don't go asking for that money, if you don't go looking for that money, companies aren't going to come to you and be like, yeah, we know we fired all of you. Here's your money. Now, we've actually seen this with Better.com.
Yeah, because they can save money. It's the same as like how these companies want you to forget that you have like a subscription to their website. That's why everybody wants you to have subscriptions now. It's because people forget about their subscriptions.
Yeah, it's like a gym membership.
He was going to give everyone 4 weeks of severance after he fired the 900 people, but then after people started looking into lawsuits, they were like, you know what? We're going to give everyone 2 months severance because we're just so generous and we care about our employees, but really they just were
for the
giving
law.
the legal minimum
Yes.
required to, not get punished.
That's like whenever Walmart tells you how much they care about you because they pay you 7 cents above minimum wage.
Companies don't
They're like,
don't
"We don't
really
come in
care
and pay
about
minimum
this. They're not
wage
going to
here, okay?"
prioritize the WARN Act. They're just going to
Yeah.
cut costs wherever they have to and then think about what that cost them later. Once Elon fired all of these people, obviously Some people were looking into like, hey, I didn't get a notification, you violated the WARN Act. But then Elon put out a tweet that said, regarding Twitter's reduction in force, unfortunately, there is no choice when the company is losing over $4 million a day. Yeah, I get it. You can do whatever you want. You're losing money. I don't expect you to just lose money and, into the ground. Like, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. He says everyone...
I think it could... I mean, like, both of these things are true, right? Is like, it sucks for all those people who lost their job. It absolutely fucking sucks for them. Because a lot of them, yes, they might not necessarily fit into Elon Musk's vision of what Twitter is going to be. However, these people could have come to work every day and did what they were asked to do and tried to do a good thing, and they lost their job. That sucks. Absolutely fucking sucks.
Big mushroom.
Exited was offered 3 months of severance, which is 50% more than legally required. There were some people out there that were saying, wow, 3 months of not having to work straight into the holiday season sounds nice to me.
That's nice.
And I mean, they're Twitter software engineers, Twitter employees. I'm sure it won't be too difficult for them to go someplace else, but it still sucks when people get let go. After he fires the 3,700 people, the next day they realize, wait.
Keep in mind, they also have to compete with 3,700 other people for those new jobs.
We might have needed some of those people. So here's a tweet from Casey Newton. From the Slack at Twitter, it says, sorry to @ everybody on the weekend, but I wanted to pass along that we have the opportunity to ask folks that we fired, I like how they say that we're left off, if they will come back. I need to put together names and rationales by 4 p.m. on Sunday. So people were let go before management even realized that their work and work experience may be necessary to build the new features that Elon Musk is envisioning.
Yeah, that was a really bad one. Like, that's like whenever you kick somebody out of a raid, like you kick a healer out of a raid, and you spend like a half hour in trade chat trying to find another healer, and you can't, and you have to re-invite them, and it's like...
That's embarrassing.
Right, let's just... Can you please get out of the... Can you just please get out of the fire this time, please? Like, let's just fucking get this done. Please.
No. What, Asmongold was saying about the, he kicks some healer or whatever out of the raid, and then he has to pretty much beg for them to come back. See, that's happened. That's because you were an asshole, you kicked them, maybe you guys have just bad blood between you two, whatever. But now he is trying to demonize the healer. No, unacceptable. You fucked up, sir. You needed that healer. That healer was a perfectly good healer. You wanted someone who was maybe like slightly better, but that person was not like dying or whatever. That person was doing perfectly fine. Maybe like one of your friends showed up, they came online, and it's like, oh, you came online, let's get you and send you to this raid. And then you're just like, all right, I'm gonna kick you, but because my best friend's now online. Then your best friend is like, oh, my wife just got home, so I'm gonna go on a date with her. And you're like, come on, don't do this to me. And it's like, sorry, we may be friends, but my wife tops you. And you're just like, oh crap, now I need to beg for that perfectly good healer who did everything perfectly good to come back. So I'm not gonna let you demonize the other healer. He was perfectly fine. You chose to throw him away. And that's the problem here with Elon Musk and Twitter. Oh my god, what the hell? I hate the climbing heroes sometimes. They had perfectly good developers who they need, and they threw them away.
A reward on the road.
You know, ego will kill him. Well, I mean, I would argue that telling everybody, they're like, yeah, I fucked up on firing a few of you guys. It's my bad. I think that's kind of like I would say that's the opposite of ego. But overall, it's intentional, so they can renegotiate their salary and benefits. Elon's smart to make a mistake like that.
No, what? If they're going to renegotiate their salaries, they're going to renegotiate it up. They're not going to renegotiate it down. Elon Musk is on the back foot. They have basically already said, Elon Musk has basically already said that he needs these people to come back.
So he fired them so he can rehire them again at a lower amount of money. I like that. Yeah, that's probably actually true. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I think that's actually true.
Which brings me to one of the comments from the last video from Sir Hamsterlot, where he was talking about how your boss and your company knows your job better than you do. He said employers know what each individual provides. That's literally their job and what drives their decisions on who to promote and give bonuses to. Well, Sir Hamsterlot, you have been proven a fool. Clearly, this is not the case. How do you fire someone and go, oh wait, we might need them? If I was still employed at Twitter right now, I'd be looking for a new job because Elon.
I think that in general, that's probably true.
I'll catch up.
Like, that is probably true in most cases, that the company probably has a better idea of somebody's value than the person themselves. And I would say, if nothing else, a differently biased view. Sure, of course.
He's going to do whatever
not
he
their
has
job
to do
to have that
to
view.
make that company profitable and, you know, make it the platform for freedom of speech or something like that. But I'd probably be looking for a new job because the way communication seems to be handled at Twitter does
I
not
agree
seem
with
to
that.
be in the...
I definitely agree with that. Bad take, terrible take. I mean, you see these companies, they fire a bunch of fucking people.
So I remember when I was working for Spectrum, I was a call center guy. Spectrum has thousands of employees, and they actually have this metric thing where you can see how you compared to the thousands of employees. I was 60th in the company, second in the call center I worked at. So I was taking more calls than anybody. More calls than one other guy. Our call center had, I think, 600 employees. I was second for the call center. Like I said, around 60th for the entire company. And there was a whole management shift. Whatever, this things happen. And I got a new management. I got a new manager. This manager has been with me for less than a week now. Less than a week. And he starts ragging on me about how I need to get my performance up. And I tell him, like, my stats are amazing. Have you looked at my stats at all? You don't need to rag on me. You can just leave me alone and I will do a fantastic job. My previous managers, and I had already 3 at that point, has left me alone. And I told him, like, straight up, like, I'm doing fine. So I said this to him. And the next day, I got called in to a meeting with him and HR present about how, like, I need to follow my job in a more proper procedural manner. And I'm just thinking, like, oh, you did not. You went total bitch mode on me. You called me up on HR because I told them that I am fantastic. So I just, like, nodded and I understand my job. And it's like, is there something specific with my statistics that you want to address? Like, I took that professionally. And HR kind of, like, looked him over and was just, like, waiting for him to respond. And then he was silent for the entire meeting. HR went over and grabbed my paper and it's like, yes, we could find some things to address. Like, she was a perfectly nice lady. She didn't really understand what the job was. And she started looking at the metrics and she was like, oh, I see you have a talk time of 400. And then it's like, perhaps we could work on that. And then I addressed her. Well, the talk time we're supposed to have is 600. The fact that I have 400 means I'm doing way more than everybody else. And then she's like, well, why don't we potentially slow things down so you can have a better engagement with the customer? And the manager, like, nearly interrupted her because they don't want to slow these things down. They have way too many calls. They want to speed it up. So he had to interrupt her and just be like, we just want to make sure you understand policy and such, and just the intricate rules of what everything is. All right. After that, it was just jargon, whatever. The very same day, later on, this very same day, there was a difficult call. These things happen. You get them once every 100 calls is a difficult call. These require you need to, like, raise your hand. You need to put yourself on the timer. You need to get reinforcements from, like, actual technical professionals who have better tools than you, who have more access to the things that you do. And this happened to me. So I called him up, and the guy who came to help me didn't fully understand how to fix it either. So he asked me to assist him. So I was there assisting him. And then he called up a second guy because he didn't fully understand that the second guy was also struggling with this issue. This was a difficult call. In the meantime, I'm in the after call work section, and my after call work was #1 in the company. So it's getting bumped up a bit. So it slipped from #1 to #2. And my manager went over when we were having this, like, conference between technical leads. And he is like, why aren't you answering calls? Why are you been in after call work for over 3 minutes now? And I was just like, this is a difficult call. And he went off on me. He was like, we just finished discussing procedure and stuff like that, and how you shouldn't be on after call work for this long, and blah, 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 blah. Like, not even understanding that even if I went on after call work for an hour, and literally I switched to after call work and I leaned back in my chair for an hour, my numbers were so bizarrely ahead of everybody else that it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't push me back almost at all. So he could not understand my value that I bring to the company. Not even a dip. So no, I don't think managers are like some all-knowing geniuses or whatever. I think they are the same dumbasses that we are. Because they are the same dumbasses as we are. I'm calling myself a dumbass, calling you a dumbass. Everybody's a bit of a dumbass. No one's like, oh, he's your manager or he's your supervisor, so he has ephemeral knowledge of your value and your worth and et cetera, et cetera. No, they don't know jack. They probably know less than what you know.
Well, then they're making more money? How do you think that happens? How do you think that happens? Like, technology is evolving constantly. Remember how they used to have like fucking 8 or 9 different checkout lines open? And now there's like 1 and everything else is self-checkout, and those other 7 people are not having a job now? It seems like these companies are doing great.
Steady as stone.
So yes, I would trust the people whose job it is and entire fucking function in the company to evaluate the company more than the person inside of their own job to evaluate it.
Nice and spicy.
It's common sense. Quicker than we think too. Yeah, exactly. We bet there's a lot of employees just coasting, doing barely what's required. Well, it's hard to say. I don't want to make a statement like that. I mean, maybe there were some people like that, maybe not. But I do think he makes a good point here, where it's like, okay, you know, if you see everybody else getting fired and you have some, you know, some boss who's just fucking out of control doing crazy shit, you can't predict it, then yeah, abso-fucking-lutely, you'd want to look at a new job or have something on the back burner, you know?
Oh man, this guy's high.
That's some corporate capitalist bullshit. You're getting mad about, man, people not happy about that opinion I have. That like other random fucking workers, some like random assembly line worker is not going to have as better of an understanding as the person who designs the assembly line.
So I don't feel like that's the equivalent. The manager, your direct manager, is not the person who designed the assembly line. Your direct manager doesn't know these things. Your direct manager is like a supervisor. More than likely, the only reason he was promoted is not because he was like some mega genius who understood everything. Like every single one of my managers, all of them got promoted just because they been with the company for long enough. So I'll give them some experience. I'll let them know that they have a, you know, a little bit of knowledge from having just a ton of experience from just being in the company for a really long time. But it's not like they, again, have some ephemeral knowledge of either how your value or the utility that you're providing. Again, my supervisor was not a technical lead. He manages my like hours, which isn't much because you select your hours on the computer. So he really just looks at the bars. All right. This guy is passing 15 seconds. All right. Hey, you cannot pass 15 seconds. Oh, this guy's passing 15. Hey, you cannot pass 15 seconds. Okay. I'm doing a good job. I'm very smart. Don't get me wrong. If you're an engineer, if you're a very smart person, 100%. I'm just saying that there's a spectrum of everybody.
Yeah, look, I mean, think whatever you want, but I mean, there's a reason why these companies keep doing it.
At all, so I'd probably be on the way out.
They keep doing it because they just don't realize that they're doing it, probably. It's like a tradition. I remember my mama told me, like, I don't know, rub salt on your forehead when you have a headache and it'll help cure it. It's like, no, that doesn't help my headache. It probably wasn't exactly that, but it was something equally as dumb, so whatever.
Another fun fact that's been happening recently is Twitter has lost a decent user base. They've lost advertisers since the Elon Musk takeover. And then there was this tweet that went out.
I don't think that I don't think that there's been any evidence that I've seen that Twitter has lost any users. As far as I know,
I mean, the word "any" is a bit extreme. I'm sure it's lost some users, but who cares? Everything's gonna lose some things all the time. That's it. I agree with Asmund that it's irrelevant. It's just.
Is there any evidence of that? Elon claims the usage is up. I think that you could logically assume that the usage of Twitter is up because everybody is talking about it. It does not even necessarily mean that Twitter is doing better. It just means that everybody is talking about it. It's the same thing. Everybody's always talking about Donald Trump, right? Even after he lost the election, they're all talking about him. It's the same thing. People just want to know what you're going to do next, what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
But they have lost advertisers.
Wonderful.
From Mike Davis that says, you have nearly 114 million followers. Name and shame the advertisers who are succumbing to the advertiser boycott so we can counter boycott them and get your $8 monthly subscription going ASAP so we can start to make up for lost revenue now. And Elon says, thank you. A thermonuclear name and shame is exactly what will happen if this continues. So does that mean he's about to just be like, here's a company that pulled out of Twitter, here's a company that pulled out because of this and this and this, and pretty interesting. I don't know what the legal ramifications are of a obfuscated maybe threat or implication of saying something like this, but
This is wild.
I think you can never rely. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that kind of stuff. It's like if you're an advertiser and you drop somebody at the first sign that like there's anything that's going to go wrong because you're afraid that a few people are going to call the office that are angry that the person who runs it is like not agreeing with them. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that at all. It's up to you. Yeah, I don't give.
So what the idea of he's going to name and shame advertisers is the dumbest thing ever. Doing something like that would just scare other advertisers away. It doesn't make any sense. That sounds like a terrible terrible move. Like, if you attack one of us, you attack all of us. Even YouTubers have the same mentality.
Give a fuck. It's the same as like anything else. I mean, if you want to pull out of a business deal, that's totally fucking fine. But
Exactly.
it's not like nobody can criticize you for that.
More than likely, these advertisers will come back once the thing stabilizes. So just wait. Just have a little bit of patience.
Bad mouthing your ex-financers is bad business? Oh, it is until you're so important and so powerful that you can do that. And then it's okay.
pretty big. Now, the Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey, I don't
think they're going to do that, by the way. I don't think that would happen. It would be, in my opinion, a bad judgment.
Left out of the spotlight, and he said, I realize many are angry with me. I own the responsibility for why everyone is in this situation. I grew the company's size too quickly. How many times have we heard this before? We expanded too fast, and then insert market downturn, insert buyout, acquisition, insert any number of reasons. I expanded too fast and made a mistake. Therefore, everyone that I employ is now having to deal with those consequences. Jack, it's getting old. One other comment here from the last...
I don't think it's his fault at all. Like, Twitter was doing fine. Twitter's been doing fine. Twitter's a great website. It always has been. I don't know what he's apologizing for. The website was fucking fine. Yeah, what's he apologizing for? It's okay. It was making a loss. Twitter was in debt. Oh yeah, no, that was fucking bad, like, for sure. But like, as a user, I think Twitter was fine. Yeah, no, you're definitely right, it was losing money. I don't know how you can make money unless you have people that are paying you money, though. Like, honestly, because like, you just have to rely entirely on advertisers, and like, the thing is, like, advertisers don't want to be involved in controversy, and like, all controversies happen on Twitter. So like, how do you reconcile these two things? It's like impossible. So it's not even really his fault. It's just like by the nature of what it is.
Video, because I really want to rub their nose.
It's like you run a website like LiveLeak, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, we either ban like 90% of the videos, or we're ban 90% of the advertisers. I mean, like, fuck.
And it is from Julius Mays. who says if you work hard, yeah, you get rewarded most of the time. You sound young and inexperienced. Being spoiled and expecting to get everything handed to you is an ignorant way of thinking. Would you like to tell that to the 3,700 people who now have no job and were probably, at least some of them, were hard workers? Here's Joan. She was on the...
I think that's what happens. I mean, sometimes people lose their job for reasons that are out of their control. I mean, this happens. It fucking sucks. And I feel bad for anybody who that happens to.
Sure.
I don't like the narrative that working hard will not increase your chances of being successful. I think that there are a lot of cases, I'm sure you guys have had cases like this, where you work harder than somebody else at a job, and because of seniority or some sort of relationship they have with the superiors, they get something over you. I think this does happen. However, I think that if you want to look at it on a broad spectrum, and you take 1,000 people that work hard, and you take 1,000 people that don't work hard, the odds are the 1,000 people that work hard are going to be ahead, assuming all other factors are equal.
Like on an average, sure.
Forefront of the machine learning ethics, transparency, and accountability team, and she was making big moves. And, you know, she got fired as well. The entire team actually got canned. So
Did they ask for her to come back? I feel like they are going to ask for her to come
Julius,
back.
you work hard to get rewarded? No, you work hard, you get more work, or you get canned. And then lastly, one comment from Wesley Franken. He said, I'm the only hardware engineer, software engineer, and system engineer. He says, I make a lot of hours because I want to, because my butt's not the only one that's on the line. I think we figured out, because you posted this last Friday. I have a question for you. Do you work at Twitter? Because now everyone's doing like 3 people's jobs. So Wesley, you work at Twitter, buddy? But anyways, guys,
that's what they do at a lot of these places. Is like now they've like multi-purposed like you know, a number of different people's jobs. Like I remember my dad told me they were doing this at Home Depot, like making the, you know, the sales associates do inventory and all kinds of this stuff. It's just all like money saving functionality. That's all it comes down to. And I also I don't think that insta-quit if they do that. And then what? That's fine. You want to insta-quit if they do that. Totally fucking fine. But then you've got to get another job, or you've got to get on welfare, or you can start selling drugs, or like a couple of other things. Maybe invest in crypto and become a billionaire. Something like that. I think that this is a good thing. The reason why I think it's a good thing is that automation is going to completely take over the majority of the workforce, upwards of probably 80 to 90%. So the idea that this is something that we need to hold on to, or anything like that, is just slipping away more and more every single day. And I can't welcome it soon enough. I've been a very big advocate of universal basic income for years. And I think that with things like this and automation in general, it will become more and more prevalent. You saying you both jobs that delegate to you?
I mean, I fully support the idea of basic income. But, I mean, do I see it happening in the United States? I kind of don't. Like, do I see it happening maybe the Netherlands? Sure, yeah, they definitely might pull it off. Do I see it happening in Europe? It's lower percentage chance, but it's possible. Do I see it happening in the United States where we don't even have healthcare? I really don't. Sorry.
So they put poorly, so they fire you? Yeah, so you can get unemployment. That's true, man. Nowhere near 90%? I think that you vastly underestimate it will never work. I wonder how many people said that about automation on assembly lines. Yeah, I wonder how many people said that, and, you know, Industrial Revolution and everything like that. Yeah, sure. For sure, man. Look, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally fucking wrong, but that's what I think is going to happen. I think it's necessary.
Has been the saga of the Twitter takeover thus far. And I think I would just like to remind everyone to always be looking, always be applying to new jobs. You don't have to respond to any of the replies you get if you're applying to jobs, but you get the email communication that you can simply pick back up and respond to later when you need it. So always put job applications out there, always be ready to move, always be upping your skill set. Very cutthroat, very ruthless. There's no emotion involved in this. It's just pure
advertise Skillshare. I feel like it's going to advertise Skillshare.
Pure accounting statistics.
All you have to do is change a couple of words, and this is an Andrew Tate video.
And money. They need money. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the update, click that sub button, click the like button, And let me know what you guys think. If you have anything you want me to take a look at on the channel, you can send me an email, grindreel@gmail.com, Discord, Instagram, however you want to do it. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for a lot of the people that lost their job at Twitter if they were trying to do a good thing, you know? Like, there's always people that work hard and they lose their fucking job, and that sucks. I know, obviously, there's some people that think that, you know, Twitter is, they don't like the political direction of Twitter, and so they're glad to see these people lose their fucking jobs. I think that most people probably, you know, they just try to do their job. Like, that's about it. They don't really care too much about that stuff. It's not that big of a deal. Meta laid off 11,000 workers. Well, as I've said, I think that there's going to be, I mean, we're going into a recession
I don't know
anyway.
if this is a
That's
boss
what
or
everybody
if
was
it's
fucking
just
saying.
like really cool
You know,
trash
how many of
mobs.
you guys,
I feel like
your
it's just really
investments
cool
are
trash
down
mobs.
in like the past 3 months? I'm sure I'm not the only one. Me? Yeah, me. I am. It is what it is, right? I mean,
Also,
it sucks,
I don't
but
think
there
I
it
actually
is.
needed
So
to kill
of course
those guys,
these places
but
are going to be laying people off. Twitter
seems
is
like it
not
was fine that I
immune from
did.
different marketplace, you know, expansions and contractions. It makes sense. You aren't down unless you sell. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it.
Oh, yeah, I still need to get the last thing here.
Who gives a fuck? There are men in third world countries who break their backs just to feed their family, and I'm supposed to care about these first world liberal SJW losers? Well, let's be honest, man. You don't care about either one of them.
Yeah.
So either way, I do think that having this happen to these people really fucking sucks, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people from Twitter are looking for other jobs. Like, yeah, it makes sense. I'll link this video again. We've watched a couple of this guy's videos, Joshua's videos.
Joshua's
I
pretty
think
great.
they're pretty good, and it gives like a very
The
I like
second
it
guy I
because
know
he's
called
pretty
Josh, who's a
opinionated
YouTuber,
about
was
it,
really
so
good.
it gives me more things to talk about. You know,
Fish.
I prefer that vastly over people who just talk about the news generally. Doesn't matter who makes bad decisions. So I'm an engineer or doctor, and they make bad decisions or unethical, you get fired. You could also make the argument there's a recession and saving some money, and then some engineers. Such a basic platform makes sense. Maybe they didn't need all those engineers. I think that so you're misunderstanding. I'm not like showing sympathy does not necessarily mean that I think that they're in the.
He clearly did need at least some of the engineers, apparently, since he rehired them.
Right, and what happened to them was wrong. So, like, for example, if somebody smokes their whole life and then, you know, they get lung cancer, I can feel really bad for them that this happened to them. Like, this fucking sucks, man. Like, yes, this is, you did this to yourself, or like you're fat and, you know, like now you're in a wheelchair. I can feel bad for a morbidly obese person who's in a wheelchair who can barely walk around at Walmart. I can feel bad for that person while at the same time thinking to myself, you know, you played yourself. You did this yourself. So it's okay for you to express sympathy towards someone, even if you agree with the outcome. You can understand on like a personal level why it's upsetting for them. You see kind of what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Well, it's a
fair.
bad comparison? No, it's not, because if it
It's
was,
very
you'd
fair.
say why. You know, I'm gonna laugh at the fat person in a wheelchair at Walmart. I try not to do anything like that. Okay, you're feeling empathy? Well, no, it's just that, like, it's not unreasonable for you to think that somebody, it sucks if you randomly lose your fucking job. Some guy buys the company, you randomly lose your fucking job. You don't need to be like a, you know, a psychologist or a psychiatrist, like some empathetic wizard, to be able to know that, this sucks, man. Yeah, nobody
that's
cares
fair.
unless it happens to you. Exactly. Automation's definitely coming, and that will maximize company profits. They love money. If universal basic income doesn't happen, however, these companies won't make anything as no one can buy anything due to being jobless. Well, I think that you're going to have probably the government paying them money, and then also a lot of the services, etc., will be provided by the government, I think. I feel like we are in for a very, very interesting, like, I'm very glad that I'm alive in the time that I am. I think that we are going to see some really, really crazy shit. I feel like we're already seeing crazy shit. And it's just going to get even more insane. Yeah, well, we are so lucky, boys. Like, what? I think that people could, I think that we'll probably see, like, some sort of, like, deep dive neuroscience. We'll probably see all kinds of, like, ridiculous scientific developments. Like, I feel like one of the very telling things about this is the AI art. I think the AI art is it's like a mining canary for what's to come.
Yep.
Nanobots, yeah, there you go. Something like that. Transhumanism Pog. Well, we already...
So I've been playing around with AI art a lot recently. So I'm a little scared to make a stream for AI art because there's always a possibility of it's creating something that's not safe for work. So, but I have a AI art generator. Not that I have. I paid for. Let me see if I can. Here, give me a minute. I'm gonna switch to AFK. Oh no, I'll switch to just no window for a minute. Just so I can log into my AI art generator. We'll make a... Give me a minute. So the one I personally like is called Novel AI. It makes more anime style AI art.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
So this is a risk, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. For my D&D group, we have new characters joining in, and they wanted some new characters, some new art for their characters. So I'm using here the AI art generator. Let me switch over. Let me generate one before I switch over to see if the first result's safe. Okay, it's safe. So this AI generator makes art, anime style art. So we have here this guy, this person who is joining us for D&D. He wanted to make a tabaxi, so that's a cat person. He is a thief, like a rogue character. So that's why he's making like dark hooded stuff. And I just pretty much listed all these things here that would likely make a rogue. So he said he wanted orange fur, so I put orange fur. Anthro, catboy, and fur skin is just what's necessary to make a tabaxi-esque character. He said it's a rogue, so it's shadows, backstreet, nighttime. The green eyes I put myself just to add some contrast. Black cloak, black rags because he's a rogue. He's a he, so male toned. Rubble just creates some nice background stuff. A little bit muscular, some cowl, some yellow armor, make it windy to make some background stuff. Bus focus is just so you can focus on the character itself and not some weird background thing. So yeah, you just type all these very basic prompts and you just click generate. And let's see. Look at that. That looks amazing. That looks like a $50 commission. And I just clicked the button and it instantly made a almost $50 commission. This armor looks great. The head looks a little janky, but you know, it's only a $50 commission. It's not a $100 commission. So sometimes you get a little janky head. And this came out in seconds. So let's try again. Maybe he didn't like this one. Look at that. It looks great. You got like a side profile thing going. You got some looking to the side. It looks, the background looks very atmospheric. You got the dark outfit. This back area here, this looks a little janky. So let's say you didn't like it, even though the rest of it looks pretty great. Look at this. This is more of a wizard-esque character, like a sorcerer type things happening. But this looks amazing. And this is the beginning of AI art. Like, AI art is at its birth. And it's making stuff that would be fairly expensive commissions. So, and it's not perfect. Like, this face looks awful. This guy's melding into the floor, which is probably not great. But if the first one doesn't come out right, you just hit the button and do it again. I kind of like this. It's very subtle. Like, for a rogue who you don't want to feel like you shouldn't have a commanding presence as a rogue if that's the personality you want. The fact that this is just at the bottom of the screen, I feel like is a very artistic choice. I like that. This looks amazing. I have no words. This looks like professional $200 art. This looks great. I can't see any direct faults with it.
Let's go find some treasure.
Let's see. Like, this head looks janky, but I mean, if you want like a little bit of a JoJo reference going, can we make a JoJo reference? JoJo Bizarre. Let's see if we can make this a little bit JoJo.
Oh, wow. Where did that come from?
Look, oh, okay, that's too much JoJo. Let's try one more time. There, that's a perfect JoJo reference. It's probably still a bit too much, but you know what? We can change that. So if we put these brackets around JoJo, it's gonna weaken the reference to JoJo, so it'll be a little bit more mixed. Let's see what we get. All right. All right, that's a 50-50. That's not great, but we're getting there. That looks terrible. All right, let's make the reference even weaker. We'll make it 4 times weaker than normal. I feel like we're almost there. I feel like there you go. We have a bit of JoJo reference, and we have an excellent picture. That one came out. Yes, yes, yes. Hold on, I'm gonna send them this one. Hold on, I need to send them this one. This one is amazingly hilarious. Oh my gosh. Hold on, give me a minute. I gotta send them this one. I decided to throw in JoJo reference to the prompt.
No one's joined me on an adventure in ages. Come on.
So this is definitely the opposite of the one I really liked from earlier. That was just like half the picture. Is it this one? This guy is like doesn't want to command attention, so he's just at the bottom of the picture. This guy's a JoJo reference, so he is in center, powerful, overwhelming, absolutely dominating. I love this. This looks like one of the Fatui jerks I just fought. Straight up, if they release this new character, like this new enemy, like Fatui Cat Harbinger, this is it. I wonder if I can make the cat eye a little bit more cat eye-ish, if that makes any sense. Cat eye.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
Yes, we can. Although I think we went too far into cat. But then again, if maybe he likes more cat. No. No. Alright. The reason I said, this is a little dangerous at the start of me doing this is because I was worried that it may create something a little bit more adult. This is a good example of that. This is still safe for work, so I'm not too scared about it, but this is a great example of how you can get very adult very fast.
Is probably true for me.
All right, I'm gonna send this one too because it's kind of hilarious. Okay, but I am done for now. Let's go ahead and close this. So yes, AI art. This is the start of AI art. AI art, it's at its most nascent form, and we can already instantly make these amazing concepts. There's actually a few more pictures I want to show off because I made these last night. So let me first of all prepare those pictures. Give me a minute here. Not last night, I made these a few days ago. I'm only going to show you the one that I really, really liked. And yeah, it's a bit of like me showing off art. Let's see if I can find it real fast. Alright, so maybe I'll actually show you guys two. Let's see if I can open both of them. Oh no, I closed it. Alright. So let's see if this one.
Oh, wow. Where did that come
Let's transition. I loved how this came out. This is easily one of my favorite arts of all time. This is AI generated. Don't get me wrong, it took me hours to make this one, but it came out so good. And again, don't get me wrong, there were hundreds that came out awful. But when you get like a gemstone that you truly love like this one, it's just an overwhelming feeling. And let me just go ahead and show a second one. It's not as complex as this one, but I still really liked it.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
Hold on, let me just find it. Because I'm sure I saved it, but
Or not.
to where I saved it to is the question. So, this isn't the one, but this is kind of like I almost used as my own character, like my own D&D character, just like this guy's great. Big energy.
No one's joined me on an adventure in ages. Come on, let's go.
Alright, I managed to find it.
Oh,
Here we go.
wow. Where did that come from?
Transition. Look at this. Easily one of my favorite arts that have come out of. It used a lot of the very, very similar prompts from the girl I showed earlier, and this is also one that was
Let's go find
generated
some
using
treasure.
very similar prompts. And I would print this out and put this on my wall. This is I personally feel like this is absolutely gorgeous. I have shared it with the community, the AI generation community, and I did get a couple of likes on it. So there's definitely a couple of the people at least who agreed that this just came out.
Or not.
It's a rare gem, but again, this is the birth. This is the very beginning of AI generated art. This is the very beginning of what AI can do, not only just for art, just can do in general. And if it's already making just absolute majestic pieces like this, it gives me so much hope for the future of what the potential of things to come. But it also does create like a small fear in me of the potential consequences that what can this do as it gets better. And this is probably just like a monkey brain, right? I don't know, so it's magic and it's scary, but it's just I'm getting flabbergasted. I'm losing my words. Just mind blowing in 37 different directions. All right, let's go ahead and close this. Oh man, look at this picture in picture. You get double action. Bennett's foot happening twice. All right, that's enough of that. Let's turn off display capture. I think actually that's enough for me to go back to how we were. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Where did that come from?
Alright, so thank you everybody for watching. I think I am going to start working on dinner. It's 7 p.m. right now. I'm going to cook something nice. I should probably upload pictures of like what I'm making online or something, because I think I don't know if people would be interested in that, but I feel like I'm doing a decent job. I'm not exactly the best cook, and I don't cook very often, but you know, recently I've been feeling motivated to cook more often, and I've been slightly proud of my work, so I wouldn't mind showing it off. So yeah, I'm gonna go start working on dinner since it's 7 p.m. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I hope everybody have a fantastic day, a fantastic dinner, a fantastic life, fantastic weekend, fantastic everything. Wait, before I go, today is 11/11/22. 11 plus 11, 22. Yes, I love days like this. I love days that are so mathematically perfectly stupid like this. 11/11/22. It's awesome. The next time we're going to have something as fun as this one is going to be 11, I guess 12/12/24. So we have another 2 years, over 2 years before something fun like this happens. All right, that's the end. That's the end. No more. No